But yeah, I definitely recommend it. Don't have BJJ Daddy with us. We chilling. You drinking a Coke and I'm drinking a Pepsi, fool.
I actually just ran out of Pepsis. I picked that up when I went to the store.
Sometimes I like it better, and sometimes I like a Pepsi better.
Yeah, I like Coke. I like to take a bag of peanuts and put it in the Coke. Just let them sit there for about 30 minutes, soften them up, and
yes, sir.
Pretty good. What, Kitty? I'll pet you, Kitty.
We got a damn cat here too. We just had to pay like $200 to get to talk to a counselor. Paperwork for the state of the park. Damn, that's not a cat. That's a fucking
dude. That's a monster.
Yeah, that's a fucking big ass motherfucker.
Huh, Simba, get out of here, shit,
dude. It's as big as your whole upper body.
Dude, yeah.
Damn, his head was huge too.
I fished him out of a couch, dude, when he was a baby. And then I just kept it.
Wow, dude, they don't know what they fucking lost out on.
Yeah. They're not missing much. He never stops.
Man. So you were saying that this damn You're saying that this time Fallout is worth watching. We might have a couple of people pop in. I sent the link out to a bunch of motherfuckers out there.
Yeah, it's definitely a good show. And even if you don't know too much about the series, it fills you in pretty good about some game lore and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know too much about because I never played Fallout 1 and I never I didn't mean to pop this up. This is the next topic in a little bit. But I never played 1 and 2, but I've known a little bit about the lore. I want to play 1 and 2. You should now that you have a computer too.
I've played 1.
Kind of sucks.
It's okay. It's a little slower. It's not third person. It's not like it is now. Fallout 3 completely changed it. But I played 1. Wasn't a big fan. I probably put I'd say about 10 hours into it. And I just wasn't for me. It was a little too slow.
Yeah, it was definitely it seems like it's like the first Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls Arena is a massive game, but it's like one of those like remember how the original Zelda was? You just walk.
Will you fuck off, cat?
So I didn't even just.
You have to leave.
This is what the shit that's crazy is. I needed about $200 the other day. I needed about.
I'll tell you. That's all.
And then I'm sending this link out to Red Dawn. And then I was about to not even go to work. I was about to say fuck it, get someone else to work for me. And then
come up here. You're getting ready to go again, Jerry.
There it is.
Yeah. I'm fucking. Oh, it's because there's double. Cat, if you want love, you have to sit up here and chill.
That reminds me of you seen the cat thing off of it's a cat that has wings that's in Baldur's Gate 3 whenever you get to Rivington, right before you get what a Red Dawn.
The Chimera or whatever it's called.
It's like a little chimera creature.
Yeah.
And that's what that thing looks like.
Oh, he came right back.
That's how they are usually. I was about to call it work, and I was like, "Fuck it, whatever." My boss comes up to me, and she says, "Hey, you got $10?" And I said, "Sure." So I ended up throwing $10 down. A buddy of mine lended me $10. I didn't have $10 cash, right? And I randomly picked one, and then Mystic. This is supposed to this Kentucky Derby this year. What's up, big dog? What you up to? You getting off work, dude?
Yeah, I'm just finishing up, man. Driving home.
Uh, yeah,
I
I've been
got a
off work.
ghillie. I got a ghillie suit that showed up in the mail today, so I can't wait to see it when I get there.
That sounds dope. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
need
got it
to
for free.
hop on the stream with the ghillie suit on.
I should, right?
The big gangster. Did you put anything on
Yeah.
that Kentucky Derby?
Nah, I don't gamble, bro. I'm too broke to gamble.
See,
If
I
I
don't.
lose, I get too heated.
Yeah, I don't either. I was completely shocked, dude. I was shocked. I was like, "What?" Because it was $10. Every 20 people threw $10 in.
Nice.
And
Did you
next
win?
thing you know, yes, sir. I was shocked too. I was shocked 100%. I was like, "Damn, I ain't never seen no shit. I have never won no shit like that." Besides on that Tyson Fury fight, that was the only time I've ever bet on some shit. But
So you put $10 in to win how much?
200.
Nice.
So I ended up walking away with 180 because I gave my buddy that let me borrow the 10. I gave him 20 out of it.
Smart. Real nice, bro.
This was the close, like the first time in the years that the Kentucky Derby has been this close.
What was the name of the horse that won?
Dude, his name is Mystic Dan, and I'll bet on him on the next two derbies too, because apparently there's only been two horses to win all three derbies, but there's sometimes ones
Yep.
like two of them.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, dude, I'm wanting to fuck with it though, honestly, because that $200 came in handy, dude, for sure, because I needed some money, and then
I
boom,
know
I
that
got it.
feeling, bro.
Yeah, that was God. That was a God for sure.
And they're
I
off.
was gambling, but this shit was
Derby.
next.
Fierceness was off at mid-pack and is trying to recover. Trek Phantom showing good speed today and is racing toward the lead. And from the far outside, Epic Ride is racing out there too in this historic run beneath the Twin Spires in Derby 150. And there's four across the track early. Phantom down toward the inside, just still in between. Fierceness is right there. Third on the outside.
Yeah, this dude, he was completely in the last. I was like, I was like, I know I ain't winning shit. That's how I was at when I was like, I ain't winning this shit. I ain't winning shit.
Came all the way back, huh?
Yeah, and then he fucking came. He was like,
Domestic product 3 wide and 12. Dornock is off the pace today in 13th.
yeah, you don't see 3 on there anywhere, do you? I don't see 3 on there at all. You know, 3's not even up there.
Sierra Leone is 17th. T.O. Password is 18th.
Who's that in fourth?
Ashley is 19th. And Anna Marie
Let's look.
There
3's
he
coming.
is.
Look,
and last. A demanding pace in the Derby. 46 and 3.
dude, he was at the very last. This horse is worth it. This is probably $1 million horse, guaranteed, especially after winning this.
Right there in behind,
Exactly.
racing for saving ground. Epic Ride starts to move up on the outside. Epic Ride is moving up into fourth.
Yeah,
Stronghold
Mr.
is there.
Dan.
Resilience is launching
Just
his rally
you
now.
should
Here
have
comes
180 for the
Resilience with a
strike,
5
bro.
wide sweep. And
I
Forever
know. That's
Young
what I
is
was
rallying
thinking.
for
That's what we
Japan.
talked. That's what I was
And
messaging
Sierra
you about.
Leone is launching his
I
rally
need to,
too.
man. I
It
need
is
to.
wide open.
I just had my birthday the other day. I wasn't do something like that, but we might be doing a whole. I need to.
Sierra Leone and Forever Young are shoulder to shoulder.
Happy birthday, bro.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah, it's chill. It was chill. It wasn't bad. It was chill. You know, as far as birthdays go, it was a good birthday.
I like chill birthdays, man. I like to be able to relax. I'm always working, doing so many things, bro. I take as many opportunities to relax as I can.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is I feel like I have been working a lot. Um, I feel like I haven't been working. Let's say the chances I do get to chill and relax, you know, they definitely they're there.
What you got a parakeet at your house, or you forgot to change your smoke detector's batteries?
No, I changed the damn battery, but on the wrong one. I just haven't looked. You hear that shit? I was worried that. No, it's a parrot.
It's a parrot, right?
Yeah, dude. Hmm.
Yeah.
That is funny. You keep hearing me go beep.
You're like, that's just my parakeet, y'all.
Yeah, I thought it was. I'm gonna have to go. That sucks, cause I'm gonna have to go take the battery out of the one I put it in and put it in a damn fucking track the culprit down, dude. You know, there's only so
Bro,
many.
the price of batteries now, when you gotta buy batteries, is like a freaking like the price of a bill.
Yeah, dude, they was tripping, and it was hard to find that specific battery I needed for some reason.
Yeah, I think it's a 9 volt.
Yeah, it was like I was trying to find it, and I think it's like, damn, this shit is hard as fuck to find this shit. You know, I was finding all the other little ones and shit.
Bro, just just pretend you got a parakeet named Winston, and every now and then be like, "Shut up, Winston."
Dude, that would be hilarious. Straight up, yeah. I think I'd have to, man. That shit. It's crazy that it can be heard, but oh,
Yeah,
Winston.
it's
That's
funny.
the new character on the show is Winston. Yeah, I've been another reason I've been able to fire him is my girl is scared of him.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like, there ain't no reason to be scared of no damn firearm unless you're a dumbass. Shit, then you have nothing to be afraid of.
yeah.
You know, but she had an ex-boyfriend that was kind of a dumbass and shit. He'd be threatening to like use them on himself all the time. And shit, like an idiot, stupid fuck.
Feel bad for me, please.
Yeah, he's like I hate, and like it'll be like shit like he said like what this fool say? He was like he said yeah I'm not gonna be here much longer, so you might have to get the cat. Shit like that. He'll be saying shit. He'll be like yeah, I think I'm done for it. Oh God, it's like. And it's like it's fucked up, but like I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, I don't want to laugh at this dude, but it's like this shit is kind of funny though in its own way too, because like this motherfucker is saying shit like that, and you know that's not it's crazy because he like in his head it's probably like yes this will work, this but it's hilarious because it's like he's saying he's like maybe if I tell her I'll kill myself enough she'll come back to me. So like
It's ridiculous.
and I told him I was like you need to tell him he needs to just go ahead and do
That's what
it.
I said. That's what I would tell my daughter, bro. If my daughter said some guy said that, I would say you should suggest to him ways to do it.
You know, be
Tell
like,
him to go play out in traffic.
yeah, dude. Yeah, this motherfucker, like that shit. I don't ever heard nothing like that. Really, like on TV and movies and shit. I've heard people saying these things and shit, and through happenstance of other people's stories. But I ain't never heard no shit like that. But ain't no drama or nothing like that. Hey, Teresa,
What's up, Teresa Buchanan? Good to see you.
what up, Garrett? Yeah, that
Yeah.
I got. It's funny
I've been
that you.
working on this. My bad.
No, what did you say? What do you say, Pimpin?
Oh man, I've been working on this video for like 3 days. It's taken me forever because there's got a bunch of clips and stuff in it. Um, but it's about how like the big mistake of the founding fathers and what their real religion actually was and why that was the big mistake and how it allowed all these other cultures and religions to like find their way in and create chaos.
What is this called again? Where were you watching this?
No, it's a video I'm working on for my
The one
channel.
that you're making. I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, as soon as you're saying I was listening to you, I was like, damn, I'm gonna watch this shit. They're saying so it's some shit you making.
You better watch.
Dude, I watched the new shit that came out there. That was badass, dude. You're like congratulations too, dude. You're like going up there now and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate
Like,
it. Yeah,
dude.
I'm starting to get there. I'm creeping up behind you slowly.
No, you have some damn good content though, dude. I want to fuck with these lives more. I ain't been able to do lives as much and shit. I've been trying to. But dude, that's cool. And I saw that. I was like, damn, this fool's at fucking almost at 600. And we was just talking about this shit last week. You know what I'm saying? And that shit, you know.
Yeah,
But your
I was
shit,
only
like
I
your
was at
video,
like 200 about. I've gained probably like 300 in the last like 2 weeks, man.
I've been seeing
Two,
that,
three
dude.
weeks.
Your regular videos, and your live streams get a lot of love. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's the path. Once you get past that 500 and you keep on getting those hours for, that's what I'm trying to figure out is how to get my watch hours up. You know,
Yeah, I
no,
think the best way, man, is having like super engaging lives. Cause like, if you get a live for an hour or 2 hours, then you get 600 views. You know, it's probably the best way to get some watch hours. And um, you know, I saw you had a live with Hutch, which was cool. I came into the watched it, a little bit of that one. Uh,
that was a good
but yeah,
live.
yeah, that was a good live.
There's like somebody there, like two or three psychos that went back and watched the whole thing from beginning to start. Because there's like 10 or 11 extra watch hours for the after the show. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, that's cool. Because that's what goes back to you saying, like, engage in lives. You know what I'm saying? We're, you know, it's kind of like we are talking about some shit, but nothing like too serious. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I feel like, you know, people like they're like, damn, they see that and they're like, let's see what's going on. What are these guys talking?
Bro, I always like listening to Hutch, man, because he's just his take on things is just different, and it's always fun to listen to.
Oh, yeah, he's hilarious. No, yeah,
Yeah,
he's like my brother for sure though. He was like my mentor in this whole thing, and this whole 4 years ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago. Um, I felt you used to be Jaffa Methuselah,
yeah.
dude. That is crazy because you were there since the very beginning yourself too, dude. If you think about it,
I've been there since the very beginning, bro.
that's dope. Dude, did you watch the roast this Sunday?
The Tom Brady roast.
Yeah,
Nah, I seen some highlights of it today on Andy Frisella's show. Um, like the parts where Dana White was ripping him. But
I did.
I want to see the Kevin Hart parts.
Yeah, it was funny. For the most part, it was funny. There's one part whenever who's the guy, the main guy that does the roast usually, like he's roasting or some shit. Ugly motherfucker. Uh,
I don't remember. They used to do them on Comedy Central.
mhm. The roaster that they use. I remember the Patrice O'Neal, the Justin Bieber. Patrice O'Neal would be at a lot of the roast. But he had
Yeah.
said some shit about the manager or the owner of the Patriots about something about him. Oh, Jeff Ross. Thank you, Garrett. Jeff Ross had said some shit about that. Said when Tom Brady went, he says, "Let's go get a massage." And Tom Brady stood up and he got into his ear and he's like, "Don't ever say no shit like that again." But he was trying to whisper it in his ear, dude. But you could hear it from the, and that was kind of. I was like, "Damn, that's like a Will Smith moment almost right there." And they did some digging into it. The owner of the Patriots got in trouble back like in the day for trying to get a hand job at a massage parlor. And
Yep, he did.
I said, "Yeah, that was funny." The Cat Williams was hilarious.
Oh, I didn't know Cat Williams did it.
No, he did no, not in that one. He did he did a live stream comedy special on Netflix the day before.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, Cat Williams is always funny, bro.
He's hilarious. You might think I'm crazy, but I've been starting to think maybe people somewhere not Cat Williams. Cat Williams may have been given like I'm not gonna say prophetic voice. Not I'm saying maybe somebody like Alex Jones, in my opinion, uh, has been given like because the prophets are always mocked in the Bible, right? Where they not usually mocked and like you know like oh this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, blah blah blah, you know. And I think a lot of these people maybe, and this is the rabbit hole kind of getting, you know. I'm thinking that they have prophetic powers given to them, I should say, to make people look at things. They don't necessarily like do miracles and do shit like that.
I mean, Alex Jones has been doing this stuff so long, and I don't know. I guess I feel like a lot of stuff is just obvious what's gonna happen. It's usually only a couple options, and the real reason is what makes it a little bit easy to predict is that we know their mission. Like we know what they're after. So it's all about like, so what would you do if you were trying to control society? Well, you would need to take this thing down next, and you would need to cause chaos here, and you need to use this event against the people to rile these people up over here. So I mean, I feel like it's pretty simple. The hardest thing is to really predict is like timelines. Um, but I mean, this election is going to be the biggest event, for sure, the biggest election of my life, if we ever even have another election after
It gets
this.
to it, right? It's weird how could there's no campaign ads going on right now, really. Just maybe little ones here and there I've seen, but nothing like I haven't seen no campaign ads, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of weird. I keep on hearing shit like Trump might go to jail. What's your opinion on that?
Nah, bro, Trump
You
ain't
don't
going
think
to
you
jail.
think, dude? If he did, that shit would be crazy, wouldn't it?
If he did, I think, bro, they want to start a civil war so they can drop martial law and go full authoritarian on us and say, look at the crazy MAGAs. They all belong in internment camps, re education camps. And to tell you the truth, like, it's just, it's the bait and switch, bro. Trump could be there just to bait anybody who really is resistant out into the open. Because, bro, in all retrospect, dude can fade out into the darkness whenever he wants.
Be fine, right? That's a good point. I
So,
feel like he is there to kind of bring the people out and say, all right, we can tell that this motherfucker is, he is a patriot. Even if you know what I'm trying to say, dude. Like they're like that's a good way. Like just like everybody at the January 6th event, every single one of those people there will now be known for the rest of their lives as having gone to that place. They'll always have a file on.
well, this is the thing. It's not just about the patriotism because if Donald Trump never existed, right, we would still have people who are patriotic, but you wouldn't be able to label them MAGA extremists.
Oh my,
So he created the title of MAGA extremism.
yes sir.
So now you're not just a patriot, you're a MAGA extremist if you're patriotic. You know what I mean? You see what I mean?
So now, like the MAGA and then the Gadsden flag, 1776 shit is inseparable because of that, right? Or to them, that's what they want to make it like.
Well,
That's,
what I'm saying is if you were just a patriot and this MAGA extremist stuff didn't exist, they couldn't really label you anything. What could they label you? A traditional American? Like, how could that be a bad thing? They need some bad name like
they mute, and the Matrix is attacking Red Dawn
but
Readiness.
they need this like conspiracy theorist title to label you so then they can mock it and give you like this image of you are this. Because if you were just an American loving patriot, they can't really get away with name calling you anything if that's the only names they got. So to slander you, they have to create this fake identity called MAGA extremism so they can stick it on people and then create like what that actually means, that fake weird title. You know what I'm saying?
You just blew my mind with all that. I've never thought about the abstract thinking in that way of linking that all together because it seems it does it just it's like what because this is all what they said. Like, what was this is like pre or post Timothy McVeigh, post Ruby Ridge, post Waco kind of shit. And they were trying to like launch the Patriot movement with those guys forever, probably, right? They're trying to make us all seem like us. Now they, like you said, now they have something all MAGA, all it's racist, it's all this, it's that. I do
Yeah,
not see people wearing Biden gear.
they need some kind of label like Nazi, like because if you're just like, dude, I just care about my country and I want things to succeed, that they need a label to throw on you so they can, stigmatize you.
That's always been the way, right? I feel like that's always been the way since the founding of the country. It's an aristocracy that puts these labels down on the lower classes, and then they get us to go against each other. Like whenever at the end of the day, um, Biden and Trump, they're probably both clone. They're probably both on some clone shit. Are we still 1 by 5? Militant Root says we were 1 by 5.
Well, bro, I just pulled up to the house, man. I appreciate you letting me drop in for a few minutes.
For sure,
As soon as
dude.
I open the door, my Belgian Malinois is just gonna like attack me and jump on me. So I can't do nothing when I see her.
Big player. I'll probably keep on going live for another 20 minutes or so, then reschedule something for later.
For sure. Real quick, who's gonna be your vice president pick?
Uh, he hasn't chosen one yet. Who I would choose Ben Carson. I think would be a good vice president pick, dude. Honestly, he's like, he's just like a friendly black doctor guy. You know what I'm saying? He's intelligent as fuck. You know what I'm saying? He's a nice guy. He's a fucking Christian. All these things. He doesn't seem weird like the last vice president was. I feel like the last vice president, he always seemed weird, right? He's so anti-gay that he probably is gay in private. Yeah, he looks like it too. He looks so fucking creepy too.
Yeah,
But
he's a weirdo.
who would you choose though?
Oh, if I could have my pick, I'd pick Alex Jones.
Oh my god, I didn't think about it like that. Of course, I would choose the Prophet Alex Jones. Now that you got me thinking about it,
Yeah.
oh my god.
I feel like,
He-
could you imagine that the media ask him questions? He would destroy them every day.
Fuck yeah, guaranteed, dude. Him versus Kamala in a vice presidential debate, dude. She's gonna be crying, dude. She's gonna be definitely walking away from that. Not feeling too good.
100%.
Well, shit, man. It was good talking to you, dude. Are you gonna be busy all day? Hit me up when you're free. I'm gonna try to.
I
We're trying
will.
to figure something out.
Yeah, I gotta get out of these clothes, bro. It's been 97 degrees all day. I've been rocking these clothes since 9 in the morning. So
What time do you go to work in the morning usually? Early?
about 9:10.
Okay.
Oh, my kids are running around. All right, brother. I'll hit you up a little bit
All right. Peace out, big brother.
later, bro.
Legendary.
Legendary Red Dot Radio.
Hey guys, what are y'all up to?
Right now, I am just waiting on Chris to show back up. I'm gonna hold it down until he gets back. And Red Dot is such a
And cool dude though. He really blew my mind with a couple of those things because I've always felt the vibe that Trump I've always felt the vibe that Trump was on some bullshit for sure. I've always felt the vibe that Trump is here to kind of, put a little bit of a what up, Morgan Horde? Obviously, given no choice whatsoever, I'm voting for Trump all day. But I've always felt that vibe that Trump has been put here put to paint the sheep and separate them from the rest of them. Guys, I don't know if y'all heard this AI music. This is gonna trip y'all out. This has me. I'm going on this AI. This AI has been making me lose my mind. Of course, Trump is playing his part in all this. The part, and I think that we've slowly. What up, hillbilly? I think that we've slowly begun to figure out what all Trump's part in this is. And that is to cause the divide. That is to help further the New World Order's agenda. And all these rich families, all these rich people, they're all from these uh, almost ancestral it's very ancestral. This whole rich people dynamic that they got going on with each other, whether when they're in their big balls, their galas. Just to kind of take a little break for a second, I'm gonna show you guys this AI song. This is by Future and Lil Wayne and Two Chains, but this is the new version, AI version, new but old. No human beings made this song.
I got some down bitches I can call. What's that? I don't know what I would do without y'all. I'm a ball till the day I fall. Yeah, long as my bitches love me. Yeah, yeah. I can give a darn about no hell long as my bitches love me. I can give a darn about no hell long as these bitches love me. I can give a darn about no hell long as these bitches love me. I'm on that good and alcohol. I got some down bitches I can call. What's that? I don't know what I would do without y'all. I'm a ball till the day I fall. Yeah, long as my bitches love me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can give a darn about no hell long as my bitches love me. Yeah, I can give a darn about no hell long as these bitches love me. Yeah, I can give a darn about no hell long as these bitches love me. I'm on that good alcohol.
All right, guys, that was "Bitches Love Me." Now we're gonna listen to another AI for the culture song. The future is being taken over by this AI shit. Yo,
Come on.
360.
Dance, a make a dance. 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 All the streets popping cookie, I'm just popping dance. Dance, dance, a make a dance. Dance, chicks popping cookie, I'm just popping dance. Dance, dance, a make a dance. These chicks clapping and they ain't using hands. Short hair like me alone. Loose one, she don't need alone. She start twerking when she hear a song. Stripper pole and it come. We get trippy and then some. So nasty when she rollin'. She put that ass on in my hands. I remote control it. Bend it over, Bobby D. Don't poke it like wet paint. You say no direction, pussy, Bobby DK. Dance or make a dance, or make a dance. Dance or make a dance. Dance or make a dance. Dance or make a dance. All these chicks popping cookie, I'm just popping dance.
Oh,
Dance, dance or make a dance. Dance, chicks popping cookie, I'm just popping dance. Dance, dance, and make the dance. These chicks clapping and they ain't using hands. Racks everywhere, they showing racks up, going racks. Racks everywhere, they showing racks up, going racks. Rich players tipping.
We got any mods in the house right now? Yeah, I think that we started with this stuff. And that's not touching our business. One who's a cat, not my business. I want to hear about the states. All right, that was 3-6 Mafia Bands to Make Your Dance. And if we have any mods in the chat right now,
I was gonna clean my room until I got high. I was gonna get up and find a broom, but then I got high. My room was still messed up, and I know why. Cause I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high.
better.
I was gonna go to class before I got high. I could have cheated and I could have passed, but I got high. La, 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 la. Taking it next semester, and I know why. Yeah.
Our first was great. It was 30 to 4.
Because I got high. I was gonna go to work, but then I got high. I just got a new promotion, but I got high. Now I'm selling dope, and I know why. Cause I got high. Cause I got high.
All right. Got a ring. To me, she spent $500. What the hell are they eating? The hell? I might spend about $40 there yesterday. Got a half gallon of milk, a loaf of bread. Got it damn. If y'all ain't seen Fallout yet, I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to spoil it. This is a spoiler. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. One of the most badass scenes of all time. It's been out for almost 2 months. I think it's been long enough time for everybody to see it. If you hadn't seen it yet, you probably ain't ever gonna see it. But Morgan, that makes a lot of sense. Wait till y'all see my garden. I'm having to keep my garden hidden on some Anne Frank shit. I'm having to keep it hidden in the balcony. Damn, they're putting. Landlady tried to say that that would attract bugs, but she doesn't know that I have all the things that can protect from the bugs. And I'm growing stuff to keep bugs out as well.
All of our work, everything that we've accomplished is the result of this fruit-bearing collaboration between like-minded corporations that make America great.
If y'all haven't seen this show yet, come back in about 5 minutes.
On behalf of everyone here at Vaultec, welcome.
Let's call this what it is, bud. Your sales aren't up to snuff, and you need money.
You're one to talk, Freddie boy. You could lose money running a casino.
Our sales are fine. Sure, rumors of the peace negotiations have set us back a bit, but we're here to offer you an opportunity. We'd like to collaborate on some of our vaults.
I don't get the vaults, but it's time to come out.
What if people are still alive on the surface?
There'll be Stone Age creatures probably eat whoever steps out of your vaults.
That isn't an issue. Our vaults have the resources to survive for centuries. Meanwhile, our competitors, every other human who isn't us, will be dead on the surface. Because after all, what is the ultimate weapon of mass destruction?
I just want to point out real quick. I think that all modern pop culture, our whole society, the way that we look at things, the way that we do things, was created. It was created, all right, in a think tank in a room just like this. Look how they're plotting.
Time.
Time is the apex predator. And in the event of an incident, time is the weapon with which we will defeat all of our enemies. That is how we will win the great game of capitalism, not by outfighting anyone, but by outliving them.
Even if you outlive all external threats, here's my problem with the vaults. You can find a bunch of rats in a nest for a long time. They end up eating each other. So who's to say your rats are going to survive better than those animals on the surface? And you still haven't addressed the fundamental
Short-sighted, I would say.
I don't need rats.
No,
people on the surface.
no, you have clearly not
see
looked
people
at the
If I could perhaps refocus the conversation.
Come on, Barb. Set them straight.
When I think about the future, I think about my daughter, Janie. How do I provide her with a better future? That's what we've invited you here to discuss.
Yes.
And how do we design our vault society so our children have that better future? I suggest we hedge our bets. Bud here has an idea for 3 interconnected vaults, but we need more ideas. We need your ideas. Because it was the spirit of competition that made our companies great. And I propose we bring that same spirit of competition to our solution. We have over 100 vaults spread across America. Enough for each of you to claim several, where you can play out your own ideas for how to create the perfect conditions for humanity, whatever you want to do. No one needs to know. And may the best idea win.
We could intentionally overcrowd a vault so people have to compete to survive inside it.
We have been developing a robot that delivers milk to the front door. It's quite intelligent. I would like to see a vault governed by it.
What about using a vault to develop a super mutant soldier using illegal immigrants?
We could pump psychotropic drugs into the air supply.
We could separate parents and children, and only the smartest kids reach adulthood.
It's a fun idea. There's a lot of earning potential with the end of the world. But we're talking about making a significant investment based on a hypothetical. How can you guarantee results?
By dropping the bomb ourselves. Miss Howard?
Well, guys, this Oregon man, he might have Florida man. Well, that was nothing. This Oregon man might have, people from Oregon might finally beat Florida. You always hear a man from Florida. An Oregon man faces criminal charges after police say he ignited and tossed a large firework during a parking lot spat and accidentally set 4 moving trucks on fire. as well as someone secretly siphoning gas from one of them. So they're arguing. There's some kind of crazy shit going on. Somebody is siphoning gas in secret. Throws the fireworks. The wild blaze erupted early Sunday morning in the Eugene when Dylan Thomas Hanna, 28, got into a verbal altercation with a woman in her 30s outside U-Haul Storage Center on Old Roy Avenue about 5:45 a.m. Police said. During the exchange of words, Hannah lit a motor-style firework from inside his car and threw it at the woman, who ran for cover, said Melinda McLaughlin. Oh, here's a picture of this guy. And I have a story about. I have another news story for you guys about that particular topic, but it doesn't involve people being assaulted, though. It involves a goat. That's our next story. Here he is. This is Dylan Thomas Hanna, the guy that threw the firework. During the exchange of words, Hanna lit a motor-style firework from inside his car and threw it at the woman who ran for cover. The subsequent blast sent sparks flying through the U-Haul parking lot, police said. Some of the burning embers landed near a bank of moving trucks where, unbeknownst to the quarrelers, a man had been siphoning gas. So why you got all this crazy shit going on right now? These people arguing. This guy is siphoning gas. All right, and unbeknownst to any of them, this guy, and unbeknownst to the guy siphoning gas, I guess there's some crazy shit going on right around him. All right. 4 moving trucks burst into flames, McLaughlin said. So did the unsuspecting gas thief, who was spotted fleeing the scene with his pants and sleeves on fire. Police later tracked down Hanna and booked him to the Lane County Jail on suspicion of second-degree criminal mischief, reckless burning, and reckless endangerment, records showed. The suspected gas siphoner remains at large, however. So if you're in Eugene, Oregon, if the gas siphoner is listening right now, come through and let me know. All right? Turn yourself in. This took place in India. A pregnant goat died in Maharuda village in Haranya, Muet. On Wednesday, as per the report, let me stop that. As per the report, the 8 accused, who are believed to be drug addicts and alcoholics, assaulted the goat in a deserted house, following which she died on Thursday. Subsequently, a complaint was filed with the Najina police station, the station in charge. Rajbir was recorded as detailing that they were approached by the goat's owner named Azulu on Thursday, who accused 8 people of stealing and assaulting his goat. He further stated that Savakor Haroon and Jafar have been named as accused in the complaint. Why the identity of 5 others is yet to be ascertained. The authorities are now trying to trace the accused. It also quotes the complaint. It also quotes the complainant as claiming that the goat's owner started searching for her, which he stumbled upon the assault scene. The report claims that the pregnant goat's values have been estimated at about 20,000 rupees. The people also contained a video recording of the complainant when he claimed that the accused stole the goat at about 7 p.m. on Wednesday and the act was committed. He also alleged that when confronted, one of the accused brazened things out by stating that they would do whatever they wanted and challenged the complainant to take any action he deemed fit. The complainant then retorted that he would file a police complaint and also a panchayat. This too did not sway one of the accused, who boasted that he has friends in high places. The goat's owner thus appealed for action and claimed that the accused would be booked under relevant sections after the police received the post-mortem report. Let me see. Let's see what a panchayat a panchayat. It's like some kind of Hindu thing. So I guess it's goats are not safe anywhere over there in that part of the world, I suppose. All right, I got one more little weird news story for you guys, y'all. So we're waiting for Chris, but if you don't pop on, we might go ahead and pop into some Fallout. God, we're not the UK. We are not far away from being like the UK. I would have to tell you. There are about 8 episodes in Fallout, I think. We're not far away. The UK's policies are so pussy now that apparently hand sanitizer could be considered as a weapon. And like I said, we are very close. We are very, very close to being like this. In the UK, it's sad. The UK, it's a failed nation. London, it's a failed city. England, Wales, Ireland, Scotland, and we'll get into that. I might pull up a couple of videos of the anti-immigration protests they got going over there. Good for them. That's their native country. They are the native populations of those countries. And if they were going to Morocco or Congo, wherever these people were showing up in boats on the shores of Great Britain, just just not even learning English, just getting off the boat, going in there, starting a life, bringing the old culture with them, the old ways of life with them, instead of assimilating to the Englishman's way of life, which obviously is one of the greatest cultural and intellectual achievements in mankind, was done by the English people and people by proxy that came from them, i.e., the United States, Canada. UK teen suspended from school after charging students for hand sanitizer. So he was charging them for, okay, I thought it was he was selling it. Okay, all that shit, but still, UK is a failed state. It is. You hear all kinds of stories coming out of there. So Oliver, he bought a tub of Johnson's Child hand wash for about $2 after hearing about the coronavirus outbreak. Blah blah blah. He's a young entrepreneur. He was charging people squirts for 50 cents up to 65 cents US dollars. He did that and ended up making over $11 before he got in trouble for offering some to his teacher. Retarded that story. What up, Gma Nana? Oh, we got 9 episodes. Good to see you, Gma. Just reading over some weird news stories with you guys. Oh, birds dropping dead all over the world, y'all. Mysterious circumstances. And I do believe this website is credible. I don't believe in aliens, obviously. Feathered tall dead to the ground. Feathered fall dead to the ground around the world. Incidents recorded in the USA, Spain, Britain, and other countries. Sorry that I cannot read that good, guys. Most likely something is happening in the atmosphere. Perhaps 1,000 blackbirds and starlings in Missouri. I'm going to have to hit up Hut, see what he said about that. 650 vultures in Guinea-Bissau. 50 birds in India are poisoned by some kind of... Oh, there's something going on up here. What's in these damn... We got influencers turning up dead too. Of course, they go from the smallest to the biggest. My theory is very good birds where you're at.
This is an African vulture. They eat dead stuff, and that's actually pretty important because if not, it would rot, you'd have diseases, that would spread. And I'm telling you this because the African vultures have a problem. They're dying by the thousands, and that's bad news.
Have y'all heard about this?
Sometimes technology is used to make our lives easier, and sometimes, like this little unit that they put on the back of vultures, is used to solve some very real wildlife issues. Let's talk about the vulture crisis. If you've heard of the vulture crisis, you may have actually heard of the Asian vulture crisis, where 99% of the vultures died because dead cows, which had been given the anti-inflammatory drug diclofenac, were then eaten by vultures who died because of it, and then that caused a feral dog problem, diseases spread, and if only they knew the science behind what was happening earlier, the whole situation would have been better. I, however, am looking at a very different vulture crisis, the one in Africa, and it has slightly different issues, but that is why I'm here at the North Carolina Zoo, in particular at the lion exhibit. I want to talk to the expert.
Lion and vulture conservation is linked, and it's linked in part through the threat. So a typical scenario is that someone loses their cow to a lion, and then they go out and might put pesticides down onto that cow carcass. The lion will come back, they might eat the cow, but often a lot of vultures and scavengers will also come and eat the cow, and the poisons that are being used are really toxic, and they kill anything that comes and consumes that cow carcass.
So most of the time, if somebody is poisoning a cow, they're actually trying to kill the lion, but there's a lot of incidental kills and a lot of vultures. And that's important because vultures play a key role in the ecosystem. They're scavengers, so they help this whole decomposition process.
They play a really important role both in terms of waste removal and disease control. The advantage of being a vulture is that they can eat diseases like rabies, tuberculosis, brucellosis, and they don't contract them.
So the solution at first, it seems so simple. You just have to stop the poisoning. But the trickier part is that you have to address a lot of issues, like the lion conflict with cattle. To start, they're using this, a device they can put on the back of vultures.
We use satellite telemetry to follow the vultures around. And one of the things we're trying to do with that is to find out where poisoning is happening. So when a bird dies that has a transmitter on it, we'll get a mortality signal, and we can go out and see what happened. So it gives us information about what's killing the birds. And it was actually this kind of tracking that first helped to demonstrate that poisoning was such a big problem for vultures. But in Tanzania, we're using it to actually find where is the poisoning happening so that we know which communities do we need to work with, maybe where do we need more rangers out and about to help address those kinds of problems. Tracking vultures is awesome because they fly all over the place. So this is about 1,200 miles from Tanzania down to sort of the lowest point, which is about the same distance as if you were to travel from Canada to Mexico.
Looking at maps of flying vultures like this makes one thing very apparent. Conservation of vultures needs to happen between countries on large geographic scales. And that's where groups like the zoo come in. They can act as neutral parties who are on the ground just trying to help the wildlife. Now let me explain how they're trying to help. First, they're training rangers what to do if there's a poisoning. That means rapid response and an attempt to arrest the people doing the poisoning. Then they're finding ways to reduce this conflict between lions and people's cattle. That's really important. And finally, it's part of an effort called SAFE, which is saving animals from extinction. It allows zoos to unite together for a common cause, and in this case, helping the vultures. Now, the one thing I hope we can agree with is that vultures globally play a really important role. And if we learned anything from, say, what's happening in Africa or the Asian vulture crisis that we had, is that vultures are so important. They're decomposers, they're scavengers. You know, in fact, I'm here in North Carolina. I'm trying to film black vultures as they're helping me decompose this dead deer behind me. You can see that they quickly find it and they take a lot of meat.
Right.
So you're probably wondering, how can I help?
Yeah.
Well, partly some of the funds from people visiting the zoo here go to Corinne and the people out in Africa doing this on-the-ground research. But Corinne also said you can think bigger picture.
People use rodenticides here and maybe don't recognize that, yeah, you might be getting rid of the rats and mice around your home, but those are often going to run off into the woods and be eaten by hawks and eagles and other animals, and there can be that kind of secondary poisoning.
I just want to say, Corinne and all the people who are doing this work in Africa, big thumbs up from us. We are supporting you 100%. And if you want to see a black vulture close up, Ziggy is the local vulture here at the North Carolina Zoo. If you're not close to the zoo, keep your eyes to the skies because they are all around you. Thank you, everyone, by the way, for the support in this channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Whoa, look at that.
Fleming response.
Cool.
Wow. Okay. A forester in India noted that death in the regions of his country could have been due to the fact that the birds ate food treated with pesticides. Also, do not exclude infectious disease. Conspiracy theorists claim that these deaths are a sign of someone is testing a very powerful weapon on Earth. Others talk about the possible effects of 5G technology. Now, I'm not educated on the 5G technology, but I would lean more towards them testing some sort of chemical weapons. We already know that they're heavily in bed with chemical weapons, and they've been perfecting chemical warfare for the past 120 years, give or take. And I feel like that's the path that they're heading toward. They know that the unsee what you can't see is going to be the best thing that they could use because who can really be blamed when the disease hits, right? Specialists gathered some birds to examine them. This will take several days. In the meantime, people continue to find dead birds. All right, I fuck with this website. Then one more news of the stupid. I feel like whenever I had first gotten my iPhone 12, because that's a 5G phone. When I first got my iPhone 12, I was getting a lot of headaches. I was feeling really like queasy in my stomach quite a bit. And I don't know the correlation. I try not to, like I said, I'm not educated 120% on the 5G. I'm going to do more research on it, learn more about it, so that way I could come correct talking about it. I feel the vibe that a lot of you guys might be educated on it already, but I'd like to come out with a good opinion of my own. A teenage pizza delivery driver who parked in the wrong driveway of a Middle Tennessee home is recovering from a scare after police said a homeowner shot at him multiple times. So he probably parked at some psycho hillbilly redneck dude's house. And the dude did not like, and the guy can't, obviously, you got to be careful, I guess. The shooting took, Nashville, that's a sketched out place. You never know what's going to happen there. So the homeowner, pizza guy, homeowner, let's continue reading. Let's see what's up with the story. According to a criminal complaint obtained by USA Today, Ashland City Police Department officials responded to a home for a report of a teenage Domino's pizza driver who had been shot at least 7 times. Some mistakes keep proving to be dangerous. Shooting over a pizza delivery mix-up. Some mistakes keep proving to be dangerous in the U.S. Hey, God, I cannot read that good. Arriving officers located the shooting suspect, who told them he and his wife saw a truck parked in their driveway on the Ring camera and thought someone was breaking into his truck. Police wrote in the complaint. The suspect said he got his 9mm handgun, went outside, and began shooting at the truck to try to disable it. Police said they recovered 7 shell casings from the scene. The victim told police he was delivering a pizza and thought he parked in the correct driveway. After he dropped the order off, he saw a man running at him and shooting at him. 3 bullets struck the victim's truck, police reported, and the shooting was captured on Ring camera footage, police said they reviewed. Nothing close to what I thought would happen on a delivery, I'll say that, the victim, an 18-year-old high school student, told WTVF-TV. I was literally about to get killed. I was literally about to get killed right there, so it was attempted murder, in my opinion. The victim said most of the houses on the street were only a few feet from each other, and told the outlet that he accidentally parked just next door to the correct home where someone ordered the food. Now let's go ahead and check out some Ryan Garcia. What do you guys think? The homeowner or the pizza guy? The guy who came out shooting, he's a hothead though. Fuck that guy, I think, honestly. Honestly, yeah, that guy, he's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit for that, for sure. Like, I understand one trying to figure the situation, but just going straight out there and shooting, I don't know. What would you guys do? See this Ryan Garcia news.
Yeah, I want some of your mama. I want your mama now. Get your mama probably in my DMs. You my top on my mom. Yeah, that fear coming in your mouth like a. I put my in your mouth. Let's start Ryan. Hey, pause. No Diddy. Pause. No Diddy.
Pause. No D. I guess he came in.
I wish I would have had this.
You know what? Fuck it. We about to watch this whole.
I'm not fucked up. I'm just tired. I fucking just landed from fucking whatever it was.
Let's
I'm
get this
exhausted,
going. Let's go.
Let's run it. Ready to go? All right, Ryan, welcome in.
Thank you,
I
man.
thought you were supposed to take over this podcast. What is this?
Oh, I'm taking it over. All right, hey guys, welcome to the Ryan Garcia podcast with Bob Menery. The biggest joke of a co-host ever, but guess what? We're gonna run it anyways. This is me, Ryan Garcia, right off my fight with Devin Haney. The best in the business is me. Facts. I stuttered a little bit, but still recovering. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, check out Monkey Tilt. It's the best online gaming casino in the world. It's gonna take over everything. I haven't missed one, so I'm not missing about this either. At the end of the day, it's the best. We can relate because we play. We gamble. We're one of the online casinos that we come from. DJs low key, but not really.
This is definitely
shout out.
This is definitely a DGen team. It's kind of like a mentally unstable.
So we
DGen,
relate.
Mental.
No, it wasn't fake. I mean, everything I felt and did was just things that I felt I needed to do. It would.
Mentally
So
unstable.
we relate to you. So go play with us because we relate and we do a lot of giveaways. I've been giving out watches. They've been giving out watches. Just a lot of things, cars. Just you never know. You want to play with a company that gives back. So this is what we do.
I wanted to this is like a mental check-in. Remember when everybody's telling you were mentally crazy?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Are you? Was that all? It was fake or no?
No, it wasn't fake. I mean, everything I felt and did was just things that I felt I needed to do in my soul, my spirit, and I don't regret anything. Was some of the stuff trolling for sure? Was some of the stuff real for sure? Did some of the stuff blow out of proportion? Maybe, but
how did the numbers do?
We're getting them on Monday.
So how does the payment work when you get?
They're in increments. 12 million here, 12 million there, and then all of a sudden you wake up $7 million check. It just.
But does it always come? Because the boxing industry seems like.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Well, at least my fight with Javante, I got my money.
Right. You sat down with Steiny. I saw that. I like that.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Why?
He's
a little fucking. I love Steiny. I do. I love Steiny.
He doesn't
so
know
much.
when to shut up.
Yeah.
He does a podcast and just keeps talking the whole time.
Yeah.
Fuck Steiny, whatever his name is. Stinky.
You don't like Aaron?
His new name is Stinky.
No, he's starting to get. He's starting to grow on me a little bit. Like he used to bug the shit out of me, but I
like
actually
him,
really think he's growing in the right direction. So
I didn't know if he was serious or not.
Yeah. Were you fucked up during it?
Fuck no.
Do you drink?
No. Oh, I don't drink.
I saw you were drinking in the podcast with Steiny.
Bro, that was a fake habit.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, yeah.
Fucking ask him, bro.
So do you gamble? Do you gamble when you go to Vegas or no? Yeah. I saw you gambling the other day.
Why would I give away my money to these casinos when I have Monkey Tip, bro? Like think about it. It's a company I'm part of. I believe in it. Bro, why would I? Bro, you're a little slow, bro.
I know. I'm a little off. I'm sorry. I just got back from chasing a tornado. I mean,
that's cool? I mean, dude.
Yeah, you think you're tough, right? That you fight, you box, and all that, buddy.
Bro, I would stand in the middle of a tornado and just have a good time, fam.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, I want to say fuck what he was talking about. And if you guys are drinking any kind of energy drink, Red Bull, Monster, Bang, that's all a bunch of bullshit. Y'all need to get W Energy, guys. It's new. They're coming out in cans now. Soon they'll be having them at convenience stores, gas stations. Y'all need to get on W. W is all natural. W is made from coffee fruit extract. All right, check it out. All right, go to W's website. Let's go ahead and give it a little quick. Let's give it a little quick look at W real fast. All right, we're gonna look at W Energy's website real quick, guys. It's so easy. It is so easy. I'm gonna just go ahead and we're gonna get back and finish watching and figure out what's going on with this Ryan Garcia shit. But we gotta give a message to our partners over at W. All right. Boom. W Energy. It kicks ass. It is amazing. It is coffee cherry extract. Look, all natural. All right. You can. It's pre-workout. And another thing, it's delicious. And another thing besides it tasting delicious, dude, is that you're saving money. You spend $40. You're gonna be getting 10% off if you use my code X1620. That is the code X1620. If you drink energy drinks, though, you're spending about $5 or $6 a day. That adds up, right? At the end of the month. All right. You get one of these tubs that'll last you a whole month, and maybe two of them, but you're spending at that point 70, 60, between 60 and $80 compared to spending like over 100 on energy drinks if you drink energy drinks like that. My math might be a little messed up, but I know for a fact it is cheaper for one tub of W a month is going to save you money in comparison to buying a can of energy drink every single day. And you use my code X1620. All right. And that will give you 10% off on your purchase of W. And it'll help with the channel's growth. All right. W, check it out. Now back to the Ryan Garcia interview. Bob Minery and Ryan Garcia talk about PED allegations.
I'll just be studying the tornado spinning. I'm not afraid of a tornado.
Do you have a girl, by the way?
Yeah, I do.
I'm always like you must have good game. Like, do you have a wife, girlfriend? I don't know your background on your chick situation.
I don't want to get too deep in it, but I'm in love.
No way. What does that feel like?
Amazing.
Really? How many times have you been in love?
I don't care about the other times. Thank you, though.
It's the present moment.
Bro, you're just you're antagonizing me, bro.
I'm not antagonizing you at all.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm
You're
not.
clearly antagonizing me, bro. You're asking me questions. Right? Bro, he's trying to poke at my heart, bro. Why does he want to know how much times I've been in love? Like, do you want to go on a date with me, bro?
No, I don't do that.
What you're saying, bro?
Because what I want to do is I like to learn from people.
Bro, no, he's talking about how many times you been in love? Like, that's some things girls ask me, bro. That's
Sometimes
it's not a manly question, bro. In the least.
I know, but I have a soft heart.
That's even gayer.
I am not a simp. By the way, my numbers are out of fucking control lately. So everybody take a fucking break and relax. I'm on a.
I heard you're the 3-minute king.
That's true though.
Well,
that's true. How you sustain in the bedroom? What's the key?
Mentality.
Really?
I'm in it to win it. That's my mentality.
Yeah, but to keep it going longer, what's the?
You just got to get creative. Make noises, be weird. Try things. You never know.
Okay.
You never fucking know.
It's like the most awkward interview ever.
Well, you're the start of it. Now I'm ending it.
I'm with him. I love it. So what's the McGregor shit? Conor McGregor's talking shit. By the way, FYI, McGregor is a dear friend of mine. Dear friend. We just shot Roadhouse, #1 movie worldwide.
Bro, I don't care, bro. Like, what's his problem? Didn't he run away from drug tests? And then he 2.5 years was escaping drugs from tests. Like, this dude's a clown. He just got off his rocker. He fucking did a bunch of cocaine. Fuck him. I will beat the fuck out of him. See, I don't even want to be mean to him. Like, we were cool. But now all of a sudden he woke up and chose violence. What's up? I'm like, I don't dodge smoke from nobody. I will beat the fuck out of Conor McGregor. I will rip his arms off complete by myself with just one hand. Fuck him, dude. He's drugged out. He's an idiot, literal idiot.
I like Conor.
And
you
like Conor? Well, fuck Conor.
I like
fuck
you.
you.
I like you too, though. I like you. That's the thing. I like you both.
Fuck Conor McGregor. He could suck a dick, bro. He probably has.
Yo, Canelo came out and supported you.
Shout out Canelo.
Yeah, for sure.
Family ties.
So what is it? I mean, did you cheat or did you not cheat? Is the question. Did not cheat. Did you cheat or did you not cheat? One more time. Did you cheat or not cheat? Because sometimes if you cheat, it's not that bad. Sometimes, right? To get ahead.
What I will say is, all my shit.
I'm fucking with you, dude. You know I'm fucking with you, and I don't want. I like to bust balls. Is that allowed?
No, bro. You can.
It is kind of. It definitely is a weird vibe. Use the code capital X 1620 if you guys are into the idea of trying it out. You get the sampler pack. Starts out with 5 samplers, and it gives you. The fuck did I do with it? Gives you a shaker too with it. Yeah, this guy, he's cringe.
Balls, that's
you are a champion right now. You're
it's
a
a
champ.
bullshit claim. I passed all my tests.
What about who's the guy? Victor Conte? What's his name? Victor Conte.
Victor Conte is connected to Snack. Snack is who sponsors Devin Haney. He was known to be a chemist and a biohacker that helped a bunch of base players cheat. He got banned from baseball.
Is he the fall man?
Oh, okay. Yeah, these are cool homies. Okay. Yeah, basically, he's a cheating piece of shit. He got banned from another sport, came into boxing, started helping them help create VADA, which is
Yo, everybody go over to yeah, that was some weird love questions I had noticed. I was thinking, I've never asked another man how many times he's ever been in love. Have you guys, any of you guys, ever asked another man that? That was weird. Yeah. Bob Minery was weird. He was on some gay shit for that. Now my question, no guys, go over to everybody who's on here right now, real quick. Go to Silverback on 1 Acres channel and go wish him a happy birthday today, guys. My birthday was on the 3rd. I turned 30 years old. Today it's Silverback's birthday. I can't reveal his age because that's not my age to reveal, but just wish him happy birthday. Go to his page. Silverback on 1 Acre. Silverback on 1 Acre.
that tested us, and then is buddy and buddy with Devin Haney, and then all of a sudden I win this fight and I pop dirty for the first time. Sounds a little fishy to me. These dudes are con artists. They had this set up long before us in case they lost. These dudes are fucking clowns, bro. I never touched. I don't even know how to get steroids. I'm dead ass serious. If you ask me how to get steroids, I have no fucking clue.
It's probably Victor Conte. That's probably you get him from.
Well, there you go. At the end of the day, bro, I don't know how to cheat, bro. I never cheated in my life.
So what's the
power.
follow up? What's the follow up?
I was trying to do the whole dirty 30 1,000 subscriber thing, which we still are gonna do the 1,000 subscriber special, but I keep on trying to get the other guys on the same schedule. It's hard.
Now, if they
I mean, we're doing tests. We're testing all my supplements to see if it was tainted. We asked for the B sample. I really don't give a fuck, bro. They could try to label me as a cheater. I know in my heart of hearts I ain't no cheater. They could all suck my dick.
Don't get me started on no damn Diddy shit though. That I've been for years. The whole rap industry. I've been talking about rap industry. Gay. Diddy. Gay. The Game. Gay. Who's another? Tupac. Gay. You know, maybe even Biggie was gay. Lil Wayne, he's one of the greatest of all time, but he's gay. And it's all stuff that they were groomed. They were part of. They were groomed into this life. You know, so we can't necessarily. People like Birdman, he was one of the big groomers. Diddy, a big groomer. You know, they were the Epsteins of the hip hop and music industry, basically. You know, they were the Epsteins of that side. Epstein was Epstein for scientists and businessmen. Diddy and Birdman, they were Epstein for rappers in the hip hop world. All right, but then you know, but the original Epstein that was fucking was Hugh Hefner. You know, there are a lot of CIA, a lot of weird shit going on there at the Playboy Mansion. They just filled the Playboy, the pool up, the bunny pool or whatever it's called, up with cement not too long ago. All right. And yeah, in that place, that was probably so much raw, horrible footage of politicians, musicians from back in that day. Yeah, that they probably got some raw footage. You know, that was the original place where the CIA would go and get the stars and get compromising pictures of them.
To be honest,
maybe somebody, maybe, yeah,
I
Maybe-
don't know because they're fucking cheaters.
Maybe somebody just spiked your shit. They didn't like you. Maybe they just
Maybe they did, but I heard that you could put testosterone in a cream and touch somebody. I heard that. I mean, I heard a lot of crazy shit, but
And if it
again,
goes through and they looked at all the shit and they actually somehow found out and they decided that you did do steroids, would it be something where they would
How would
strip
it-
everything and ban you for life?
I don't know. I don't give a fuck. I mean, they didn't strip Canelo. They didn't strip all these John Jones. They didn't strip none of them, and they probably actually did steroids.
Right.
I know for a fact in my heart of hearts, I did not do steroids.
They should just create a league where everybody's on steroids and fights each other. I think that'd be the most.
Steroids, it doesn't even give you advantage. What advantage does it give you? Did it stop from Devin Haney getting cracked in the face? No, bro. Steroids is not going to help you with timing, with skill, with management, with fucking. And if I was on steroids, I would have been in way better shape.
What about the
Bro, I was literally drinking every day, smoking weed. He knows.
I
Every
saw you
single day. I
podcast.
didn't stop, not even till the fucking day of the fight. Drink. And I got in there high as fuck and I beat his ass.
Right.
That was so easy. That was a walk in the fucking park. I had harder fights than sparring, bro.
Really?
It was not hard at all.
So what's
and
ne-
even Devin was like, I've never been outclassed that much, that easily. Bro, steroids didn't help that, brother. I fought somebody on steroids and I've knocked them the fuck out. It doesn't do anything.
So you came out, you supported Trump, and you got some shit for that too, right?
I mean, I feel like I received love from that. A lot of people love Trump.
Yeah, I love Trump too.
I liked Trump.
Yeah.
Barron was cool. Bo, all the dudes. The Secret Service was dope. Everybody was
Oh,
cool.
you met him?
He's fake Trump. I don't
Oh,
know.
I didn't know that.
He's fake Trump.
What was that like?
It was cool.
Where'd you meet him?
Oh God.
Meet him at the Margot Largo.
That's what we did too. We went down there. Secret Service, where they like don't wander.
The Margot Largo.
I didn't say that to you. They told us they were like just one fucking rule. They were like, whatever you do, just don't fucking wander around the room. We'll shoot you.
No,
in the
they were
fucking
really
head."
nice.
They were. Yeah, they weren't there.
Hey, let me put my fist up to Trump's face.
Right. So who's next then after this fight?
Sean O'Malley, we were talking to Dana White to run a boxing match.
Yay.
Possible fight in August. Pitbull Cruz.
Where would that live though? Say you fought O'Malley, because it's got to be complex on who would control the thing. Dana only wants to control everything.
I don't know, as long as I get paid, I'm cool.
So you would go into the UFC ring?
Whenever the music is really, you can tell the production quality is really good on it. The dude had to suck another man's dick to do that song.
If they want to do a boxing match in the UFC, let's do it.
With those
Sean
gloves?
O'Malley wants to do boxing match.
With those gloves though, they wear?
If they want that, but again, that's gonna be worse for him. I mean, again,
right, that benefits him, right?
No, benefits me. What are you talking
Benefits
about?
you.
Bro, smaller gloves, and I know how to transfer my body. And I train with small gloves too. She says all the time. I train with 3 ounce, 4 ounce. I mean, I've been preparing. I've been doing a lot of grappling work. I just been preparing myself for whatever.
But if anything goes with O'Malley, he can do anything. He's going to beat you if he can do anything. But it's just boxing.
No, he can't beat me. If it was MMA, fuck no. I've said that. I've been on record. He cannot beat me. I'm a natural athlete.
Right.
And I know how to wrestle. I wrestled my whole life. I was really good at wrestling. I just didn't pursue it because I was great at boxing. In boxing, you get paid. Wrestling, you don't get paid.
How was Tao?
What?
How was Tao the night after the fight?
Oh, that was amazing, bro.
There was a lot of people there. That was fun. I was right next door.
Bro, I bet Warwick was going crazy when I started announcing go to Warwick. That shit was...
Oh, you sent people the wrong place?
No, I sent people to Warwick, LA, and I feel like, we were getting a bunch of calls like, where is he? Where is he?
I love it.
I didn't show up.
I love it. I love it.
But I just feel like something was like, nah, don't go. Because right after the scandal came out, you never know. Devin Haney lives in LA. He probably could have pulled up.
Did people pull up on you ever?
Fuck yeah.
Really? Like what kind of people?
Any type.
Y'all think
And who's your team to make sure that you're okay?
Gains.
That big
Honestly,
scary-
God, I go by myself. People press me, and I know how to handle it. It's just like, hey, brother, we're good. I've had a gun pulled out to my face before.
Who would want to do that though?
This guy that I was walking this girl home from a date like about a couple years ago, and it was in LA. And then all of a sudden, some dude jumps from a balcony. It was kind of crazy. Bah! Like, what the fuck? I was like, this bitch set me up. And then he was like, I know who you are. I'm like, okay. I was like, who are you? He was like, this is my ex-girlfriend. And I'm like, ex-girl. So what the fuck is this? And then he just
yeah, it was me. It was me. No, I'd be in the trees with
it was an
binoculars.
ex-boyfriend. He was just at her house.
And then he pulls a gun in my face. I'm like, oh my God. So I just, like any normal human, I just go shoot it. I was like, shoot the trigger. Pull it. I swear.
Oh,
I said, pull the trigger.
I guess this happened a minute ago. Donald Trump's trial in Florida on charges of illegally keeping classified documents after leaving office has been indefinitely postponed. A judge decided on Tuesday, greatly reducing the odds he will face a jury in either of the two federal criminal cases against him before the November 5th U.S. election. Interesting.
That's what I thought. You're a bitch. Then I left. And I came back with my security and he kind of roughed him up a little bit.
Oh, he came back?
Yeah, heck yeah. I was by myself. My security was trailing me. And then I went back to him. I said, this dude just pulled out a gun at me, bro. He went and pulled out a gun on him and then blah, blah, blah. But it's all good, bro. That was a long time ago.
I love that. I think we're good. I think we just.
That's it?
You want to keep? I don't know. No, I'm saying I'm good. I'm saying if you want to keep shooting the shit, I'm down. I thought we wanted to do 30. Is your schedule tight today?
Oh, okay. We just got the interview.
You can if you won't listen. You know,
I have a podcast I'm doing.
Do you?
I'm gonna interview Canelo today, right?
He's got a big fight. What's that fight looking like?
Canelo wins for sure. I hope so. I mean, that would be sad if he loses. We got a young, hungry guy.
Well, let me bring the clarification real quick. Ryan Garcia says that he's pro-Trump, and Trump goes to a lot of the UFC fights. Ryan Garcia, he called his son Bo. Maybe he was tripping. Thinking about Biden. He had a Freudian slip. All this shit is weird. Okay, I didn't think about it like that. About another
Mexican. He's not gonna go down easy. He's gonna fucking fight the death to the death. If you're interested in betting an underdog, I'll do it.
You bet your own. Do you bet your own fight?
Yes, I did.
How much you bet?
I bet $2 million.
Really?
I won 12.
Where did you put the action in that? Sportsbook?
I had
Spread it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that takes action stand that big?
I spreaded it.
Monkey Tilt takes action.
Hey, shout out Monkey Tilt.
So if you want to bet big. Really? That's pretty crazy.
It's like if you bet on your own fight, it's almost as if you know like what's going to happen, right? This guy knew what was going to happen. I'm sure we've all heard about
44-year-old Joshua Dean died Tuesday after a surprise staph infection left him in critical condition. Dean was a former quality auditor at Boeing supplier Spirit Aerosystems. He was one of the first whistleblowers to accuse Spirit leadership of ignoring manufacturing defects on 737 MAX planes. Dean lost his job in 2023 and filed a retaliation complaint alleging he was fired for speaking out. He was represented by the same law firm that represented Boeing whistleblower John Mitch Barnett. Barnett was found dead in an apparent suicide back in March.
Who owns Boeing? Let's look into that. Let's look into how BlackRock and Vanguard Group own Boeing.
And just in tonight, NASA has scrubbed plans to launch Boeing's version of an astronaut taxi into space. NASA just made that call at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. There's the launch pad holding the massive Atlas V rocket. Oh, and at the top is Boeing's Starliner crew capsule. We're going to have to wait until another try tomorrow. And it looks like we've got Marissa Pera there on the ground, who has watched this scrub happen in live action here. Marissa, what happened? What went wrong?
Hey, Gotti. Yeah, so we just got this information a few minutes ago. There was an issue with the oxygen valve on the solid rocket booster. So out of an abundance of caution, they decided to scrub this. And just for some context, for those who maybe don't watch every single space launch that happens, this is fairly common for launches to get scrubbed, mostly because of weather, at least when I've been out here. But this is something that they take very seriously. And so there is also a lot on the line here. And we have talked about this previously. We've been talking about this all day. We've been reporting on this for months, if not years, the things that Boeing has been plagued with. Now, remember, Boeing's commercial aircraft, completely separate from their space program, but their space program has also been plagued with issues separately. In 2019, we know that the uncrewed test flight had issues that were so severe with the software that the capsule didn't even make it to the ISS. We know last summer there were issues with flammable tape in the parachutes. But I want to mention that ahead of what we were expecting to see tonight, now hoping to see tomorrow in terms of this launch, Gotti, we've heard astronauts and, of course, the NASA administrator trying to instill confidence. Butch Wilmore, which is one of those two astronauts.
Who's a good explanation?
Sell online and grow your business.
If a commercial's not a Debbie commercial, I don't want to watch it. Fuck that commercial.
Has evaluated the vehicle is not in a configuration where we can proceed with flight today.
Boeing was forced to call off the scheduled launch of its Starliner spacecraft. It was supposed to make its first trip with a crew to the International Space Station last night, but liftoff was scrubbed. Just about 2 hours left in the countdown. So Mark Strassman is at the Kennedy Space Center. Mark, good morning. What happened?
Good morning, Emery. I want to show you something because I think it helps. It's a model of what you see on the launch pad, the two stages of the Atlas V rocket. This is the Boeing Starliner capsule on top. The issue happened here, a mechanical problem, a faulty valve somewhere in the rocket's second stage. What's unclear is whether engineers have to replace that valve. If they do, they're going to have to haul the whole thing off the pad, back to the garage.
So it might not be. This might be just a classic American conspiracy theory. You know, like Americana style, not necessarily a deep state one, but though this does involve people's lives being at stake and people being assassinated, murdered over it, this is a classic story. The two whistleblowers end up being dead. Boeing is getting a lot of heat. What's up, Point Fire? Good to see you, buddy. Boeing's probably getting a lot of heat on them at this point, I would say. There are a lot of things. BlackRock and Vanguard Group, that's coming to fruition that they own it, and it's weird, very weird stuff. And that makes you think, how often do we ride on Boeing planes?
Complicated fix, and that would push the next potential launch date from as soon as this Friday to next week at the earliest. You'll recall that NASA hired both Boeing and SpaceX to be their space taxis. SpaceX has already launched 50 people into orbit. Boeing hasn't launched anybody because Boeing Starliners had a series of delays, a series of bad headlines. But just to be clear about something, Emery, this was not Boeing's fault. This was a United Launch Alliance rocket issue, but clearly frustrating.
It's not Boeing.
Emery.
All right, Mark, thank you.
It was not Boeing's fault. Look a little bit more into Boeing. I was going to look into their owners, BlackRock, but we're looking more into Boeing specifically. No, this makes me think of Killers of the Flower Moon all the way. This has definitely just to save money. Not find any good info.
A Lion Air Boeing 737 crashed.
Oh, this came out 4 years ago.
Rescuers have located debris, but they do not expect to find any survivors.
Some of the warning signs, in retrospect, were there all along. Some of the decisions or changes were so subtle that people might not even have realized the importance as they were taking place.
These planes are getting old.
This video was brought to you by Brilliant. Hi, welcome to another episode of Cold Fusion.
Yes, we are emergency. We are depressurized. We do need to return back to. We have 177 passengers. Still is 18.8.
That was an exchange between the pilot of Alaska Airlines Flight 1282 as the door of the Boeing 737 flew off the aircraft mid-flight. An emergency landing was declared. Imagine being a passenger on that plane as it happened. For 117 passengers on board that flight, that was their reality. It was extremely fortunate that there were no injuries or casualties after such an event. For most travelers, boarding a plane is an inherent act of trust. Instinctively, we rely on the industry's expertise and competency. However, Boeing's most recent scandal with Alaska Airlines has shaken this very foundation of trust. But this incident is one of only many that has rocked Boeing in recent years. In this episode, we dive into Boeing's track record of failures and mismanagement and try to answer one
guys, we'll push through this one. Let's see what we can learn.
Uncritical question. Is there more to blame than Boeing? From the temptation of Wall Street profits to the pitfalls of American corporate governance, this case has consequences extending far beyond boardrooms and into the future of air travel. To give more insight into the situation, I interviewed Petter from the YouTube channel Mentor Pilot, who has been a commercial pilot for over 20 years. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Anyone with $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans may qualify for help from National Debt Relief.
You are watching Cold Fusion TV.
Boeing was founded by William E. Boeing in Seattle, Washington in 1916. It quickly became a trailblazer in innovation and engineering. They were at the forefront of designing, manufacturing, and selling airplanes, rockets, and satellites. In 1969, Boeing launched the iconic 747, which was hailed the queen of the skies and the plane that shrunk the world. The Boeing 747 revolutionized air travel. Back then, the saying was, if it's not Boeing, I'm not going. So then, how did Boeing go from this?
Phil, air travel has really made you a bon vivant.
They're using the same planes.
Our new 747. Somehow, you feel more important on TWA.
To this.
A new report calls for dozens of changes to improve the safety culture at Boeing.
Many critics point to a misaligned merger in 1997 as the catalyst for Boeing's downward spiral. You see, towards the end of the Cold War, defense contractors, including Boeing, feared that there wouldn't be enough business amidst a decline in military-related orders. And so, in 1997, Boeing merged with its competitor, McDonnell Douglas, in one of the aerospace industry's largest mergers, worth over $13 billion. Boeing's engineering-first ethos and culture quickly crumbled, overpowered by McDonnell Douglas's profit-first approach. The joke going around Seattle was, McDonnell Douglas bought Boeing with Boeing's money. Meanwhile, over on Wall Street, cash was king and greed was good. And Boeing president, Harry Stonecipher, was orchestrating an internal transformation that sent the world a clear message. Boeing was no longer an engineering powerhouse, but rather a business operating solely to satisfy shareholders. Quote, when people say, I changed the culture of Boeing, that was the intent, so it's run like a business rather than a great engineering firm. Thousands of jobs were axed, and Boeing relocated to Chicago so executives could make decisions without any input or pushback from the engineers actually making the planes. By 2003, Boeing's reign was under threat by a European airline manufacturer known as Airbus. Airbus had, for the first time, overtaken Boeing's market share in jet deliveries. Then, in December 2010, Airbus caught Boeing.
Not the dudes at the low level, not like your privates, your sergeants, your commanders, even your generals and all that shit. It's your people who are in charge of the departments of the military who have been compromised at these Grove meetings. Those are the ones that, they're not, and I feel like a lot of these people in charge at these really extreme high levels of the military. I mean, I'm not an expert in the deal, but I feel like they don't really have any extent. They don't have the. I mean, they were like pencil office guys, pencil pushers.
Off guard by launching the A320neo. It was powered by a fuel-efficient engine and sold a record-breaking 667 planes in under a week. To put it into perspective, that was more orders than Boeing's 737 had received in an entire year. And Boeing, they didn't have a plan to compete, so they were left scrambling to catch up. And what happened next wasn't just a struggle for market dominance, but can be directly tied to the loss of 346 lives. It's considered to be one of the most tragic and costly disasters in corporate history. We'll recap the deadly events of 2019 as context for evaluating their recent scandals, such as the Alaska airline incident. So back in 2011, Boeing, racing to keep up with Airbus, launched the 737 MAX. But
And honestly, guys, how many of y'all remember this Alaskan? I do not remember this Alaskan Airlines deal happening.
Instead of building a brand new plane, Boeing added new fuel-efficient engines to an aging 737 aircraft, which was now 45 years old. These engines, though better for the environment and more efficient, were bigger and heavier and had to be placed further forward on the aircraft, and this altered the aerodynamics of the aircraft. The changes caused the plane's nose to pitch up in certain conditions. To counter this, Boeing hacked their way through the problem. They introduced the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, or MCAS. It was meant to be a flight stabilizing software that adjusted the flight controls to prevent stalls automatically. But the thing is, Boeing barely told anyone, even the pilots.
Instead of talking to pilots and how can we fix this, engineers thought, we can sneak in a little system. Pilots don't need to know about it. It'll handle this little business where pilots are not going to be flying anyway.
And here is where things started to go very, very wrong for Boeing. Firstly, the MCAS relied solely on data from a single sensor, the angle of attack sensor. If this sensor were faulty or fed the system wrong information, MCAS would send the whole plane into a dangerous and unrecoverable nosedive. The result was the Lion Air and Ethiopian Airlines crashes, which sadly claimed the lives of so many. So how exactly did the MCAS system lead to the tragic deaths of hundreds of people? I asked Petter to break it down for us. I don't think the events unfolded the way most people think it did.
The 737 MAX, it was always a good aircraft. It always flew well. It was never unstable. Because you see that in newspapers all around, we needed to put MCAS in this system to stabilize the aircraft because it was aerodynamically unstable. No, it was never aerodynamically unstable. It flew perfectly. What it didn't do, though, was fly exactly like the previous model. And this is super important because if the same pilots are going to be flying the next generation model, the NG, and the MAX, without providing any flight training, then they need to behave exactly the same in all different configurations and situations. And that was a problem because Boeing could have then certified it like that, but you would have then needed to train the pilots. And that would have meant all of these airlines that just wanted to buy the MAX and put it into operation next to all their jets and just let the pilots fly in between them would have now needed to take all of their pilots out, put it into a simulator, and that would have taken time and cost a lot of money. So instead, Boeing said, well, why don't we use this MCAS feature that we already have from the 767 tanker? And what this MCAS system was supposed to do was in very specific situations, so that high angle of attack situation, it would trim forward a couple of times, move the vertical stabilizer in the back forward just a few turns so that you would get that same feeling. That's all that MCAS was supposed to do. But something trapped into the system where the MCAS system would trim forward more than what.
In the town I live at, there's some people that died in a helicopter crash. The pilot, I guess, lived, but they recently got in trouble. They recently got some handed down their justice.
Was thought that it would do. And not only that, every time that the pilots would reset by trimming themselves, the system would trim again, right? It would reset itself and retrim, and reset itself and retrim. This was never in the real specifications, okay? No one in the quality department noticed that this happened. It was just a feedback from the test pilots. The system was just supposed to be a tiny little subsystem on the far fringe of the usable spectrum. It didn't need to have any redundancy. It wasn't supposed to be a dangerous system, so therefore it fell under a different category of rules when it came to certification. But then it became dangerous, and with the kind of features that it had when it actually hit the line, it should have needed 3 sensors at least in order to activate.
So, to cut costs and avoid regulatory compliance, Boeing deceived airlines into believing that the pilots didn't need any additional training for the 737 MAX. And what's worse is that Boeing also purposely removed any mention of the MCAS from the operations manual relied on by pilots, a move that totally slipped under the radar of the Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, a regulatory body agency whose whole point is to prevent companies from cutting corners. It was during this time that an under-resourced and underfunded FAA was relying heavily on Boeing to regulate itself. What could possibly go wrong? Boeing's MCAS system caused 2 catastrophic crashes: Lion Air Flight 610 and Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302. After this, Boeing faced a PR and financial storm. This included a $20 billion financial loss and a $2.5 billion settlement with the Department of Justice, and this was for deceiving the FAA. From 2019 to 2024, the spotlight has been on Boeing for all the wrong reasons. With every media report, every whistleblower account, a troubling picture became clearer. With its bottom line threatened, Boeing still clung to their corporate culture, one where, at times, speed was prioritized over thoroughness and safety was traded for share market gains. Boeing's own technicians refused to board their own planes. Debris was found near electrical wiring. Loose and defective parts were discovered in hundreds of aircraft. A senior manager even reused a dented hydraulic tube in a scrap bin. Boeing was outsourcing engineering work to temporary $9 an hour contractors. Boeing was grappling with systematic quality issues across the entire fleet. In 2011, passengers in a Boeing 37 jet en route from Phoenix to Sacramento were rocked by a terrifying incident.
The last thing you want to see when you are in a plane at 36,000 feet, the sky through the roof of the plane.
A 5-foot hole suddenly ripped open its roof mid-flight. The incident was blamed on, quote, extremely poor manufacturing technique. In 2015, an FAA auditor in Japan found a Boeing subcontractor had been falsely certifying cargo door certifications for hundreds of 777 aircraft for years.
I'm a therapist who goes to therapy, and some people think that's strange. The thing is, though, therapists are human.
We'll get back. We will get back to that whole Boeing conspiracy deal whenever I got the buddies on. But for now, I kind of want to. This is news to me. Apparently, I don't. Let's see what's up with this. The guy, he's a man. Okay, so this guy throws conspiracy theory pamphlets in the air before setting himself on fire outside a Trump trial. It's kind of like that dude that set himself on fire for Gaza a month or so ago. Have you guys heard about this? I have not. I'm surprised I have not heard about this guy. Where they got footage. They got footage of this guy, but they don't have footage of the other guy. All right, let's see what's up with this. Then we're going to get into some vampire facials after that. Police have identified the man as Maxwell Azarello in his mid-30s from St. Augustine, Florida. So Florida man. Okay, this is Florida man is once again proven himself to be the craziest person. He is now in critical condition in hospital after setting himself alight in a designated protest area for pro and anti-Trump demonstrators. The NYPD said it has opened an investigation after its officers responded to the fire at around 1:37 p.m. local time on Friday, 6:37 p.m. UK time. I guess this is some UK shit. Mr. Azzarello took a canister out of his bag containing what is believed to have been an alcohol-based accelerant before dousing himself in the fluid and setting himself ablaze, police said. Officers and civilians ran into the protest area and attempted to put out the flames using coats and fire extinguishers. NYPD Chief of Department Jeff Madry told reporters 4 police officers suffered minor injuries from fire exposures, authorities said. This is the dude. This is what he looks like before. Now I guarantee he ain't got no hair. He might not got no nose. No, he's probably fucked up. NYPD Chief of Detectives Joseph Kinney told reporters the pamphlets appear to be propaganda based, almost a conspiracy theory type of pamphlet. Some information in regards to a Ponzi scheme and the fact that some of our local educational institutes are fronts for the mob. So a little bit of a conspiracy theory going on here. The blaze broke out after jury selection for Trump's hush money trial concluded, with 12 people and 6 alternatives chosen to decide whether the former U.S. president covered up payments to women who allegedly they had affairs with him. And I kind of was reading into that. Apparently, Stormy Daniels said that Trump paid her to spank him. Which all this shit, it's how do you hear about one of the Clintons doing shit to kids? Biden doing shit to kids. You never heard about him doing no shit like that. No fucking grown woman porn star that was consensual. The Trump campaign released a statement on Friday afternoon offering its condolences to the traumatized witnesses after the blaze. Okay, this is the dude again. I guess he might have a history as LO. Damn, that's an ugly motherfucker right there. That is it. Yeah. Okay. Caroline Levitt, the national secretary for his campaign, said, not knowing the motivations behind this sickening situation, it's difficult to make any definitive remarks, other than to say we are thankful that, to the best of our present knowledge, nobody other than the individual in question was hurt. She added, today is more proof that our nation is in deep trouble. Make America great again. Footage shared on social media shows Mr. Azzarello lying on his back on the pavement outside the courthouse while the lower part of his body is on fire. Another man sprays him with a fire extinguisher, which appears to put the fire out. Police officers are seen running over to the scene as the fire is extinguished. Freelance photojournalist Ed Gwynn was outside of the court at the time and told Sky News U.S. partner network NBC News, I heard someone scream he's going to light himself on fire. I see him dumping gasoline on his face very deliberately. He had a gray t-shirt on. It soaked his face. It soaked his shirt. Boom, he went up. Mr. Quinn said it took the police about a minute to arrive. He continued. Women were begging, screaming, put it out, put it out, put him out. uh, Here's Trump in the court, probably whenever all this crazy ass shit was going on. So this guy, he's out of his mind. There are not every there's this might be an instance of not everything. I think the last guy who set himself on fire for Gaza, that was a deep fake, but this was a genuine crazy bastard that set himself on fire. Hours after the jury members were decided on Friday, the appeals court rejected a last-minute bid by Trump to halt the trial over his claims that the jury selection process was unfairly rushed. Okay, Miss Daniels and former Playboy model Karen McDougal, who was paid $150,000, both claimed to have had affairs with Trump. 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. Could get up to 4 years in prison if convicted. But thanks to breaking news, we found out that that's probably not going to happen. All right. Woohoo. Guys, I want y'all to if y'all got a link to that video, put it in the chat so I can go look at it. If it's not too graphic, I might show it. If y'all got some kind of link, put it in chat, please. Vampire facials at an unlicensed spa infected 3 people with HIV. The CDC found. Look, and it shows these fucking these. Look at these fucking low down, no good fucking bitches. A cosmetic process known as a vampire facial is considered to be a more affordable and less invasive option than getting a facialist. But the process can be a serious health hazard if done in an unsanitary condition, according to a new report. That proved to be the case for 3 women who likely contracted HIV from receiving vampire facials at an unlicensed spa in New Mexico, making it the first known case of the virus being transmitted during a cosmetic injection procedure. According to the findings published Thursday by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, during a vampire facial, a person's blood is drawn from their arm, and then pallets are separated out and applied to the patient's face using microneedles, according to one skin clinic. The procedure, also called pallet-rich plasma or PRP, is touted by proponents as helping to reduce pore size and fine lines as well as rejuvenating the skin. But multiple people with no known risk factors for HIV were likely infected with the virus through vampire facials at the since closed facility, the CDC report said. This investigation is the first to associate HIV transmission with non-sterile cosmetic services, it stated. The facility drew the attention of state health officials after one spa client tested positive for HIV while traveling abroad in 2018. Another tested positive for HIV during routine tests for life insurance in 2018, while a third did not find out she had HIV until a year ago when hospitalized with an AIDS-related illness, the CDC report relayed. Unlabeled tubes of blood. The incident prescribed by the CDC indicates the risk of patronizing unlicensed spa facilities. So this has me thinking, yeah, this had me thinking that not only can they give you this disease, but maybe the level, the higher up, the higher up, how do you say it, the dark bloodlines, Hollywood politicians, they stay young. They use vampire facials. This is my own little conspiracy theory I'm throwing out there. They do vampires facials. They use the blood of children, y'all. Sick bastards. The incidents described by the CDC indicate the risk of patronizing unlicensed spa facilities, which is strange. Who's going to this unlicensed spa facility? That is what is having me tripping. If they're going there getting it, I'm like, you deserve to get AIDS if you're going inside of there. You fucking, this gracefully age. Or you could risk the possibility of getting HIV and leading up to AIDS, I suppose. I don't know the exact order. Y'all are explaining it in the chat, but I didn't know the exact order. I'm going to play some little background music, guys. I want y'all to know what that background music is sounding like to y'all. I don't want to be too loud. I don't want to just make myself talk. Of course, we're all in it together, right? Just like 1984. All the 3 factions are all secretly allies. They're switching back and forth from being enemies every so often. Had shut down the VIP spa in Albuquerque after state inspectors found practices that could potentially spread bloodborne infections. including HIV declines. That included unlabeled tubes of blood on the kitchen counter, as well as other injectables stored along with food in the kitchen refrigerator. How does this stuff? Does it so HIV? Does it just it grows within this blood naturally? I thought that that's something I'm having a hard time understanding. Former VIP spa owner Marie Ramos de Ruiz pleaded guilty in June of 2022 to 5 felony counts of practicing medicine without a license. CBS affiliate KRQE reported she was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison. Those who have had the cosmetic procedure include Kim Kardashian, who posted an image of her bloody face after undergoing the process in 2013. She has since come out against the procedure. This bitch, this fucking Kim Kardashian, she did that shit in 2013. She's been doing it in secret ever since. She just publicly came out against it. I guarantee that Kim Kardashian is using the blood of the innocent in her vampire fucking facelift. Alright? People considering injections for medical or cosmetic reasons are urged to ask whether a provider, clinic, or spa is licensed and trained, and if any products involved are FDA approved and purchased from a reliable source. Some states have a lookup tool that can be used to check on licensing, according to CDC. Requiring adequate infection control practices at spa facilities offering cosmetic injection services can help prevent the transmission of HIV and other blood-borne pathogens, CDC reports. CDC is full of shit. But I wouldn't be surprised if they, the whole AIDS related I fucking see. I'm almost, that shit made me go score. That was kind of a weird little story, right? That's a damn weird story. Guys, I got one last funny but stupid news of the day, weird news of the past 2024, the past month. When this came out? April 28th. This came out last week. Here's our perp, Othello Holmes. Othello Holmes put his genitals into food at a culture restaurant in Houston, Texas, authorities said. A restaurant worker in Houston, Texas faces escalating legal jeopardy after allegedly dipping his genitals into food at the business. The Harris County Precinct 1 Constable's Office said they looked into Othello Lorenzo Holmes, 27 years old, some more, and discovered that he possessed an immense amount of child pornography. So this guy was a real piece of shit. So not only was he dipping in, he was a pervert. This guy, he's off of the streets now. Let's read more into about this fucking sick fuck. What I wonder if I wonder if this Culture Foods is connected to that mall. I don't know if we talk about this mall where they had a sick bastard ring going on there. All right, check this out. Now we proceed with the story. Once our investigators got a call from the restaurant owner, we not only arrested him after viewing video evidence, but we also noticed he had thousands of horrible files on his phone, they wrote Thursday. He was rearrested because our investigators went the extra mile to look into this guy who appears to be a predator. Yeah, of course, it's not, it's, you've always heard the joke. I don't know if you've ever seen Waiting where they do nasty shit to the food. You always heard the joke like, be careful of the people you get your food from. I don't understand what this guy, I don't know if he was later jerked off to the idea of putting his stuff into the food like that. Oh God. Authorities said they started investigating April 4th regarding the food despoilment at the restaurant Culture, according to Houston Embassy affiliate KPRC. Holmes allegedly said he put his genitals in jelly and that he had a sexual urge. However, he stopped himself before he ejaculated. The things that I have seen and the behavior that I've seen, it is very disturbing, Harris County Precinct 1 Constable Alan Rosen said, according to Houston KBS affiliate KHOU. When the restaurant found out about this behavior going on, they immediately shut down. To everybody, they had not served a single patron of the restaurant. Holmes allegedly told investigators he had these urges frequently and has a history of sexual offenses, saying he has a problem with these sexual urges and needs help. We took immediate action by shutting down our establishment, cleaning the entire space, discarding all existing inventory, and contacting the police to have the employee arrested immediately, the restaurant reportedly wrote. Additionally, we worked with our security team to enhance our camera systems. Now they're going to have to worry about somebody doing this shit in the future. These actions were implemented within 1 hour of the incident being brought to our attention, ensuring that the matter was addressed before the business opened again. The business maintained, "We strongly believe this is an isolated incident." I'd hope so. Resulting from retaliatory measures due to a demotion. Authorities kept investigating, and on April 15th, Holmes allegedly let them look through his phone. They claimed to discover child sexual abuse material. Evidence also showed the defendant engaged in sexual activity with himself and also another person in front of a child, the constable's office reportedly said. "We kept investigating this guy, and boy, I'm glad we did," Rosen said. "We found some really horrible things in his phone. We found child pornography, and we are fearful that he potentially may have at some point assaulted young children. Investigators fear that he may have traded the abuse material." On the social media site Telegram, Holmes allegedly wrote, "Super pervy yesterday. I wish I had access to kids." According to Houston ABC affiliate KTRK. Another person with the username Princess wrote back with a crying face emoji, "I wish you did too," authorities said. Rosen reportedly said Holmes used to work at a hotel and that the constable's office is seeking a medical evaluation to learn whether or not the defendant has any sexually transmitted disease that could have been given to anyone at the restaurant. The constable noted that Holmes had many girlfriends who have had kids, and he voiced concern that the children could be in the material. "Anyone with information, call the Precinct 1 Constable's Office, 713-755-7628. Okay, I don't know if anybody knows who is in the Houston area. There's Holmes. Is probably, in my opinion, this is connected to a deeper trafficking thing going on in the greater Houston area. All right, Alex Jones exposed a story of some bad shit going on in the bathroom at a Houston mall. And if this culture place, I'm about to pull that link. I'm about to pull that link up, Gmod. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to make it. I think I made a correlation, guys. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Where is it at? Oh, dude. There ain't no. Is this place its own restaurant, or is it, if it's at the mall? Let me see. I'm doing some real quick. It looks like they have some good food, right? But I don't think it'd be a possibility to go there. I don't think it'd be a possibility to ever go there now. Especially after that guy was fucking jerking off inside of the damn jelly. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around that. Got me saying wrap my mind? Alright, let me go check this video out. I hope that it's not too. Anyways, what are we about to check out? Point. Wait. Yeah, okay. I want to see I don't know if that's the same. 1 second, I'm about to show. I'm just trying to. I'm showing this. While I'm watching this video, I want to be having to show it down. I'm showing this video, I'm gonna have to be doing some little research situation. Oh, nice. Thank you for coming through on that. We're gonna show a little bit of this. Why I'm trying to I'm about to blow y'all's mind. Then we're gonna go check out some more of some Jeremy McKenzie, who's the gangster, legendary Jeremy McKenzie.
Is the Rebel Call channel. Welcome to today's show.
Rebel Call.
As some of you know, I received a strike and removal of a video that I uploaded about the man who set himself ablaze outside of the Trump trial, the fake charade of a trial that's going on where they're just building momentum for Trump. The more they victimize him in the public eye, the more support he's going to gain from people with conservative viewpoints, because everybody could easily see how corrupt and sick and how much treason has been committed by our current government regime. So the guy on the screen is Max Azzarello. He's the one who's no longer with us. It's very clear that this is a Manchurian candidate, and the government creates these events for a reason, okay? And you don't realize subliminally on a level of a subconscious mind how these stories actually work, right? So let's start with the fact that he took this very staged photograph, okay? This is just a guy walking the streets. There's no reason at the time that anybody should take a photograph of this man, but this photo was taken where you could see the hair over his eyes, doing all-seeing eyes symbolism. It's a very staged-looking photograph. This person didn't take the photo knowing that this...
Real quick, that made me think before I lose my thought on this. Real quick. This guy, Mari Emanuel, a man of God, a Christian man, he had lost his eye in that stabbing that happened a few weeks back. And if y'all follow any of your mythology, follow any of your history, losing your eye has always been a symbol of gaining knowledge, of gaining true wisdom, right? So once you lose your eye, that's like your eye is a portal from the inside world, that is you, to the outside world, that is everything around you. And that is all a connection through everything that it's God. And, you know, Mario Manuel, he lost his eye. He lost one eye, but he gained infinite wisdom.
This guy was going to set himself ablaze. 2 minutes later, this person clearly took a photo deliberately, because this is the photo that's been plastered all over the mainstream media. And it's important.
Thank you, Mr. Brian. Hell yeah. Yeah, no, we're right now just doing a little, just doing a little shooting the shit right now, just kind of winding down, doing some research, telling news stories. Good to see you. Message me, tell me what you're up to. Maybe we can get something going. I'm trying to get Jordan on here, but he don't get off of work for a little bit.
No, because what the sign says, Trump is with Biden, and they're about to fascist coup us, right? And then, of course, this guy has had previous arrests, and you can see his mugshot. Look at his mugshot, doing all-seeing eye symbolism, doing what is called the serpent's tongue. Maybe you've seen a lot of celebrities do this. It's called the serpent's tongue. This is a satanic gesture that they do. This is part of the signs and symbols that we see celebrities use out in the open that they get away with because nobody thinks any further than they're being silly. Oh, they're putting a hand over their eye. They're playing peekaboo. Oh, they're putting a finger over their lips. Oh, they're sticking their tongue out. These are all Freemasonic. These are all satanic gestures that they make to one another. It's all coded gestures, right? We can see that this guy is clearly a government plan. So you ask yourself, why? Well, think about what this story has done. Now, if this story reported that this guy was MAGA, it would be exploded even more so, play into the left-right paradigm. But what this story has done is garnered sympathy from both sides about this guy's mental health, right? This guy's mental health, because he actually believes exactly what I believe, which is exactly what the cure to this entire problem is, which is people removing themselves from the left-right paradigm. This guy wrote in his manifesto that, and this is deliberately done, this is a government putting truth out there. But when you put the truth out there behind somebody who is willing to set himself ablaze and then say to everybody that he had serious mental health problems, and they start looking at him and they start saying, oh, let me see what this guy was about. Why did he do this stuff? They go, oh, wow, that's too crazy of a conspiracy. And it's so crazy that this guy put no hope in the system at all, that he decided to take his own life because there is no hope. And that's what they want you to take out of this story. When you see people like me, to look at people like me and to correlate me with him, somebody who believes that the government is in on it together, right? He called it a government Ponzi scheme. And they come out with this entire life story, which I'll read to you. Within 48 hours, not even, outlets in the UK, independent UK, other media outlets, have his entire life story. Not like, oh, well, here's the stuff that was in his pamphlets that are thrown around. We're talking how he got from A to Z, right? How he was a great guy who went down a rabbit hole because he started to read conspiracies online, including conspiracies about billionaires and how it's a billionaire conspiracy theory. And they're all working together to keep us divided. All truths, right? But when you put the truth out in plain sight, and then you put somebody who would do this to themselves and somebody who clearly doesn't seem like they're mentally healthy. There's videos out there of singing, "We need an effing revolution," all these ridiculous videos that he posted online, which any person, left or right, would see and go, oh, yeah, he's a little extreme. He's a little bit further, and of course, too extreme, because so extreme that he did this to himself, right? And that's where the seed planting starts. Because in this entire thing that's going on, if you're in the left-right paradigm, you're allowed to speak. That's what we see. That's why there's no censorship, and they pretend to be censored. Those people like Tucker Carlson, Russell Brand, Ben Shapiro, the Daily Wire, they're all plants to keep you trapped. The things that this guy was saying are 100% true, but
my God, we are going to go back to that. We are going to go back to that story, to that video in a second. Okay. The story, as you can tell, the title, it is fucked up. It's a messed up title. So, that restaurant culture, the restaurant culture, guys, where that guy was dipping his genitals into the jelly at, is also the same place where they're having a child sex ring for the dark web going on there as well. I'm going to read you that story. I got to warn you, this is a dark story. What a weird coincidence, right? What are the odds? What are the odds? And that's what I was really digging into that. I said, what? I started looking at it, like, so they got something weird going on at that mall. The city of Houston got something weird going on. The Galleria Mall needs to be investigated. I looked it up and it says Culture Restaurant is inside the Galleria of Houston. All right. A Houston mall worker allegedly partook. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you for the stories from January 12th, 2024. I heard it off the Prophet Alex Jones. Whenever he was speaking about some stuff, he brought this story up, and I started looking into it, and I said, "Damn, this is a messed up story." Sexual abuse of 2 toddlers in his care and filmed at least some of the disturbing acts in a public bathroom, authorities said. Arthur Hector Fernandez III, 29, was arrested and hit with federal charges after the FBI discovered several videos showing a group of men, and this is not for the faint of heart. This is not for the faint of heart. Sexually abusing 2 2-year-olds on different occasions back in 2022, according to a Texas criminal complaint filed last month. Fernandez, the former employee at the Houston Galleria, which is the same mall that the guy was dipping his genitals in the jelly at. All right. Works, okay, the same place that restaurant's at, all right? So he's one of 7 individuals who appeared on camera in 4 disturbing videos, and they were initially flagged by Australian Anti-Child Exploitation Government Agency on December 6, 2023, the complaint states. The short clips shows Fernandez, 2 others, allegedly abused children, originally appeared in the dark web in an invitation-only forum, authorities said. We are treading on we are treading on dangerous territory right now, guys. All right. Okay, so one of the small boys was abused in what appeared to be a public restroom while he was on a changing table. The FBI said he was filmed in one of the videos while the boy appears in 3 videos. Fernandez accused of being in behind the camera, sexually abused at least 3 times. The mother of one of the victims in the past. This is why you cannot trust people, guys. Is that you cannot, it's a very strange, anyway, this shit is sick. I'm not gonna give this story too much reading. I can't read this story too much more. She was a friend. She called him to work. Our Senator Fernandez offered to watch the child, and let's see what this guy looks like real quick. Show you guys. Look, there he is. No, this motherfucker is in. Tell me how this happens. Okay, there all these people worked with him. All these people thought that he was a knight. He betrayed them. He was betrayed himself. He betrayed himself as one of their friends. He betrayed himself as somebody they could trust with the kids, which is I feel like it's textbook behavior for somebody like this. But that's a ring. They're uploading this to the dark web, so there are people watching this shit. All right, okay. So they're uploading this to the dark web. Who's to say this guy? Who's to say this Othello? Who's to say Othello, the guy doing that shit with the jar jelly, who works at the same mall? And this shit happened at the same mall within the same 6-month time span of each other. All right, so that is crazy, and we have heard nothing. How many of y'all heard anything about that? The child sex ring that was just broken up a couple months ago in Houston. How many people heard about that? Right? Okay, now even crazier. Now the connection between. So this, who's to say? Like I said, that guy is not being a part of this. Hey, what's up, Prepper? What's up, Roman? Good to see you, brother. Discovering some really intense and really insane connections. All in the Houston Galleria. It's a bad play. That's a bad play. I heard it's a dangerous mall, anyways, from what I was reading. But the Houston Galleria, I think that the owners of it, something going on in the city council there. There's something there's something that ain't right going on over there, because that's crazy that should happen in the same mall in the same town.
When people out there start seeing the stuff that he's saying, because it's going to blow their minds at first. Nobody in the mainstream, nobody MAGA, they're not talking about.
I don't want to get my channel in trouble whenever I'm just now starting to get it going. It's an honor to see you, brother.
This being a complete government coup. They're talking about this as if, oh, Democrats are out of their minds. They're supporting Ukraine. They're committing treason. Conservatives, Republicans are the way to go. Trump's going to save us from this mess. The whole mindset of coming to the realization that it's rigged on both sides is the mindset that would save us from this. Because, again, there's only about 1.2 million prisoners in this country. And how many people live in this country? I mean, as of now, if you do a Google search, it's 333 million.3. So it's perfect, right? You get your 333. But they couldn't imprison everybody here. Thus, there could be an actual revolution. It doesn't even have to be a violent revolution. When they hear revolution, people think of violence. To stop this from going forward, the people just have to disengage. And they have to all do it together. That's how you start a revolution. They want you to think it's some government staged insurrection or something along those lines. If the civilians realize they're being duped and they actually band together and they all say, you know what? We're not paying our taxes anymore to this government. All these people in power have to go. We could shut the entire thing down and restart it. It doesn't mean violence. It doesn't mean anything bad. It means good for all. It means the media is overthrown. It means all the propaganda is gone. But they don't want you to realize that. So they keep you in the left-right, thinking that that's the way you're going to win.
You'd lived in,
right? Why do you think these stories are out there about the IRS and about how they're going to come after people? Oh, the government's hiring more IRS agents.
All that has a bunch of shit rich people go to. Oh, here's that picture of the guy. Here's what she was talking about. What if this guy is in the
complaint? Because the only way to shut the system down is for the people to revolt. And that means stop participating in the system. Take the power away from these people by not participating in their government anymore, because they've clearly shown you that they're not serving you anymore. They're not serving you so much so. We're not even talking about prices of things and inflation, all, you know, and all the stuff with our taxes, how high they've gotten and how they take our tax money and send it to other countries. Our government is literally telling us that they're going to leave borders open. And again, that's part of the psychological operation. They're doing this deliberately, and they're actually manipulating these stories. And on top of that, they're telling us that criminals are not going to have to pay consequences, right? And the more the media tells us that there's more crime, the more people out there who are dumbed down are going to go out there and commit crime. Because if you watch any of these news stories, the media is literally telling you, you can go commit crime and not be arrested. This is all deliberately being done. So they're destroying infrastructure, and they're actually destroying our way of life. In fact, any of these stories about home invasion where the person defends their private property and attacks a home invader or does something to somebody who breaks into their home where they have children inside, we're seeing these people get prosecuted, okay? Now, the whole system is corrupt in every aspect. the left and right working together, the court system, etc. The civilians need to stop it from going any further forward. But if you invest in the left-right, then it continues to go the way that they want it to go. They want you to think that by you being a Republican and voting conservative, that you're going to break away from this stuff. But all you're going to be is getting herded into what they want. This is part of problem, reaction, solution. They want you to garner more support for Trump. They want you to invest hope in Trump. That's the point. So this story, back to it, is clearly a staged story. Okay, this is clearly a Manchurian candidate. You have a stage photo. He's looking right in a camera lens, doing all-seeing eyes. He's got his hair over his eyes, mugshot, doing the same all-seeing eye symbols. I mean, this guy was awake
Y'all
at all.
haven't seen Midnight with the Devil yet. Y'all need to see Midnight with the Devil. All right, be safe out there. Thank you, Roman Prep, for stopping by, brother. You're a legend. Y'all need to see. Y'all need to see Midnight with the Devil. We about to watch, and it's opening weekend. I don't know if this is bullshit or if this is the powers that be playing the numbers. But on that's opening weekend, Midnight with the Devil made $666,000 and 66 cents, or so, along those lines. Crazy, right? Y'all need to see this movie, and we'll show you the preview in a second.
To what was going on. Clearly, if you know the left and right is fake, you know that this is a spiritual war. You know that this is a psychological war as well. You wouldn't be doing all-seeing eye symbols. In fact, if I ever went out public, I would make sure every single day that I never slipped up. I wouldn't even probably itch my eyeball so that somebody would have the opportunity to take a picture of me and tell everybody out there. So did you?
Hi, we're Visible. We're the wireless company with nothing to hide. Seriously, hidden fees?
Do this deliberately on the streets for a stage photograph before you're about to do this to yourself, to do this deliberately, especially during a mug shot, obviously is their calling card, right? And then if you look at the pamphlets he threw on the ground, the true history of the world, right? They show you these pamphlets. I joked in the video that got removed. I said, I wouldn't be surprised you open this pamphlet up. It had the logo to my website on it, right? And I can't say what the website is because as somebody who was one of the bigger people out there trying to stop this movement, I've been completely silenced to the point where I've had to rebrand myself. Okay, think about that. Rename yourself. Nobody's ever had to go through something like that. It's unthinkable. And not only once, I've done it about 80 times, right? So when you do that about 80 times, eventually they're going to not be able to find you. But even after like 2 times, they're not going to be able to. So, I mean, even if you had my thing in there, it would only be to remove my website. But joking aside about me being in his pamphlet, what this does is when you look at the whole realm of conspiracy, right? When you read the article, they deliberately have his whole story. He's a great guy. He suddenly went downhill. He was committed to a mental institution. He was in a mental home, and he's been screaming about he had political views that he would that are not mainstream, right? Which is exactly what I have, political views that aren't mainstream. He called our government and the world government a Ponzi scheme, and then all the other talking points in there are about how the elections are fake, how the government is gaslighting us, how it's a fascist world coup. And you go down and down and down, and there's paragraph after paragraph after paragraph about his backstory, how he stumbled upon conspiracy, right? How he was really a great guy. But then he got in a rabbit hole of conspiracy online. And this is to brainwash people who find channels that are like mine, not mine specifically, because I don't matter anymore. That's clear from the damage that they've done. See, people talk about them coming and whacking me. They used to say, oh, this is way more effective for them to do than having to do something like that. Because the more reach, the more they take us apart from one another, it has more of an effect than doing anything like that to someone like myself. They continue to remove communities of people who are like-minded. And by like-minded, I mean people who are trying to unite the two sides. And that is what I'm trying to do. Okay, I know people out there, you know, I bash both sides, and I obviously bash the liberal mindset because I mean, there's no critical thinking going on. But it doesn't mean that they're not good people. It doesn't mean that they're not under mind control. They look at me and they go, because they have this narcissistic tendency that's been built up inside of them, which the government has deliberately done. That's how they create barriers and walls. They look at me and they think that I'm trying to say that I'm smarter than the federal government. Okay, they're not going to partake in it anymore.
It sounds like a devilish name, Azillo. I guess that might be some of the best footage that we can get is from
Emergency crews rushed to a
bullshit
park
ass
just
CBS.
across the street from the courthouse with fire extinguishers to douse the flames engulfing a 37-year-old man. After burning for several minutes, he was carried away on a stretcher and taken to details.
It was a shocking image, too graphic to be shown in full detail, in the middle of a New York City park this afternoon of a man on fire. It happened right outside the courthouse where former President Donald Trump's criminal trial was underway.
A man has now lit himself on fire outside of the courthouse in Manhattan where we are waiting.
The incident unfolding live on cable news just after 1:30 Eastern.
And we're like yelling to the cops who are all outside of the park. I don't know if he was really political or just unbalanced.
Authorities confirmed 37-year-old Maxwell Azzarello is from St. Augustine, Florida. Tonight, officials say he is intubated and in critical condition.
He throws the pamphlets throughout the park, and then he pulls out a canister and pours some kind of liquid on himself. Court officers, members of the police department, they run into the park. They make efforts to put him out.
How concerned are you that somebody was able to get this far in, light themselves on fire, that with all of these law enforcement officials around?
We're very concerned. Of course, we're going to review our security protocols.
Azzarello posted what he called the Ponzi papers online, critical of both Republicans and Democrats, claiming, quote, "We are victims of a totalitarian con that is about to hit us with an apocalyptic fascist world coup."
This gentleman did not breach the security protocols. The park was open to the public.
And today at a news conference, when I asked authorities how this incident changed,
No, coming to the Western Europe. Why is there not? Boo, fuck that. Here's some good news right here.
My name is Katerina. I am acting field coordinator in
Ew.
I'm Vladimir, team leader.
Amidst the rumours, one thing's for sure.
Irish
Last night, Dublin burned. Rage clearly directed at the police, looting, on the surface, an archetypal riot. So where did it start and why? There was a knife attack yesterday afternoon outside a primary school. 3 children were stabbed. One of them, a 5-year-old girl, was critically injured. 2 adults are also still in hospital. The incident likely a catalyst for the rioting.
That story encapsulates perfectly the UN's migration policy. What was it called technically again? Did you say it was called again, buddy? Yeah, that shit. Oh yeah, the migration compact on migration. Look, there's our compact on migration for you right there. Stabbings.
Very
First conversions.
quickly online, far-right leaders
First
ramped up the rhetoric, describing the attacker as a foreigner, blaming immigration. In fact, the Gardaí, the Irish police service, has issued very little detail. In a press release, it says the person of interest in this case is a man in his 50s and that he hasn't been arrested.
These criminals did not do what they did because they love Ireland. They did not do what they did because they wanted to protect Irish people. They did not do it out of any sense of patriotism, however warped. They did so because they're filled with hate.
In this video we found,
They won't show you this though, huh?
They all can't be wrong. I mean, I tell you, a mad and thought I was mad. They all can't be wrong. I do right, the far, that's the far, that's the fucking far right among them. All right.
Let's see some negatory.
How come you ended up moving away from there?
Today, that it is not right to connect immigration with crime is ridiculous. Not all immigrants are created equal, and an immigration policy that does not recognise this will end in disaster and tragedy. We don't record crime statistics by ethnicity, because to do so would offend liberal sensibilities, but other European countries do. The Dutch do. They've done it for 10 years, and here's what they've found. Individuals from non-Western immigration background make up 14% of the population in the Netherlands. However, they commit 40% of all crime and violent assaults. Populations from Africa or the Middle East tend to exhibit rates of 2 to 4 times higher than those of native Dutch. And in both Germany and Spain, the suspect rate of Algerian immigrants for crimes is 10 times that of natives, and in Italy it is 17 times. And Ireland has the largest groups of Algerian asylum seekers in the world being admitted into the country. Asking us not to connect crime to immigration is asking us to ignore reality. These are official statistics published by other EU governments. They are factual and true. Are they hate speech? I fear, Minister, under you and your bill, they might well be investigated as such. I have long said that this government would rather receive a pat on the back from Brussels than a clap on the back from the Irish, and that so often we need to get serious issues in this country to attract attentions from the international media before the government will do anything about them, because the government only listens to the media and not to the people. Well, now Ireland has the eyes of the world on it, and they're posed to see how this country is being turned into a post-democratic EU vassal state, which is about to pass censorship legislation, the likes of which we have never seen in the West, so that its government will be protected from the criticism of the people it is elected to govern. Maybe that will give them pause for thought. But
Wow.
I mean, considering that it's the second most important issue to the British public, only 4 MPs turned up. Now that's quite shocking, really. And I think
it's like a hot and not
how
hot.
MPs quite often feel that they don't speak up on this issue.
And I'm here. And I'm here for my children, and I'm here for my grandchildren, and I'm here to keep Ireland for the Irish, and our Celtic race, and our culture, and our traditions, and our Christian Catholic religion. And I do not want Ireland to become an Islam stronghold.
Here, here. Well said. Great stuff. Fair play.
And I'm here for my children, and I'm here for my grandchildren, and I'm here to keep Ireland for the Irish, and our Celtic race, and our culture, and our traditions, and our Christian Catholic religion. And I do not want Ireland to become an Islam stronghold.
Here, here.
Migrants in the Northwest Migrants Forum. What would you say to politicians in Northern Ireland, in the Republic of Ireland, and indeed in Great Britain as they continue to grapple, some might say not very successfully so far, with this huge issue?
I think we need to remember that there are people at the heart of this decision and this debate, and the push factors that are making them come here is what we need to consider. There are a lot of discussion about the pull factors. There's nothing that is pulling them towards this country. They're being pushed away from their countries. And Ireland, for example, should know this better. People left this country because of famine. They left this country because of conflict. Those people who are coming here are experiencing exactly the same issues that Ireland was experiencing before. Ireland has been a very open and welcoming society, and we need to remember that as we
want mass immigration. We don't want it here. The Irish don't want it. The Europeans don't want it. Politicians, I happen to disagree with them, but they may think that immigration is good for the economy. But whether they're right or whether they're wrong, what about the cost to society in other respects? What about the pressure on healthcare, the pressure on education, the pressure on policing and the rule of law? What about the pressure on housing? These things matter, and they matter fundamentally. But it's not only that. When you import hundreds of thousands of people from cultures or from societies abroad that are suffering conflict, you are inevitably going to import those conflicts with them. We see that playing out with protests relating to Gaza and the tensions around those protests. And also, if you import hundreds of thousands of people, perhaps millions, from cultures that are very different from our own, with different social norms, different behavioral norms, and perhaps different laws, laws based on different principles, perhaps religious principles, you are going to have friction and tension. That is inevitable. And we've seen it play out in the local government elections, haven't we? We've seen a very obvious rise in sectarianism, and we've seen the presence of political Islam. And political Islam is fundamentally incompatible with democracy. So our democracy is placed at risk. Our very way of life, the core issues, our law, our democracy, our healthcare, our policing, all of these things are placed at risk by mass immigration. So whether the economy benefits slightly or not, I think that's small fish compared to these other issues. We do not want our culture smothered. We do not want our culture displaced and replaced with other cultures. We don't want it. We haven't asked for it. We haven't voted for it. In fact, in 2016, during the referendum, and again in 2019 in the general election, we voted very clearly for this to end. And it hasn't done. It must do.
You almost feel bad for him.
We will not be silent. We will raise the voice of Gaza. We will raise the voice of Palestine. Allahu Akbar. We will not be silent. We will raise the voice of Gaza. We will raise the voice of Palestine. Allahu Akbar.
Don't state. Guys.
A line of Gardaí. That's what they call their police. You can see that they're quite worried about the two sides coming into contact. There's one Gardaí officer filming things, I think, for souvenir purposes. I think the numbers on the other side, if I had to estimate, I'd say there's about 110 people. Nah, more like I'd say shy of 100. I'd say there's about 90 people. There's more police than counter-protesters. Most of the signs on the other side are prefabricated signs, as opposed to many of the homemade signs on this side. And I'll tell you one other thing I just noticed. On this side, hundreds of Irish flags. On that side, I don't see a single Irish flag. I see 3 Palestinian flags, and I see a mysterious flag that I cannot identify. But there's not a single Irish flag on the other side. And doesn't that tell you something?
Flag, yo.
I'm going to step about a foot away from these big cops because I don't need to get caught in the crossfire.
NGO scum!
They're chanting NGO scum. That's a very interesting thing to say. The people in this anti-migration march think that their opponents are the United Nations, the World Economic Forum, NGOs, as much as any domestic political party, and I think they're right. How do you do? Thank you very much. Very friendly here, lots of Rebel News fans, even here in Ireland. I correct myself, I see a single Irish flag on the other side, on which is written Black Lives Matter. As I mentioned before, this side has co-opted the phrase and says Irish lives matter. I think both lives matter.
Irish lives matter. I'm trying to see. Of course, this whole Ireland thing is the big thing on the news now. doing the episode after this one. Just the same team Montana, or is it a different team Montana? What is it? Apple was it? Mod. And this one, not a mod, Orca.